everyone. Hello, all. Welcome once again to Blaine's Escape Corner, our little corner of the internet. We get together, we talk about the things that help us escape. We are running a big, chalky protein drink today, so kampai, everybody, to the cut. A lot of Star Wars live streams in your feed. Well, hopefully, these wars of Star can be a little less annoying. Fire Emblem, yeah, Fire Emblem. Blah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We have a way these things sort themselves out. We'll get to it. I gotta start by scrolling here. Scrolling through because I don't have time to find these things because Nest thermostat doesn't work great, but you want to make it work okay with your system, but your system's pretty old and the Nest thermostat's pretty new and it's not designed very well. Thank you, Google. That's my song for the day. Hope everybody's happy. Not even a minute before mentioning Fire Emblem. You know what? Don't blame me for that one, all right? Don't blame me for that one. It's a minute and a half if you include the intro, so some people just they like their Fire Emblem. They're emblems of fire. They're not as stoked for the waifu. Yesterday's stream, you may notice, is not currently up and live. So the giant middle finger of YouTube copyright going out to Karangbin, who is claiming the song Summer Madness. Summer Madness, the song from Karangbin that is the Gran Turismo 7 menu soundtrack. So the menu music, when I turned it up for that minute as I got my racing rig lined up, everyone was, they were like, you know what? That took like 20 seconds, and I could hear a few beats of my music. I'm gonna block the whole thing. And it's like, YouTube, they're like, this doesn't affect your channel. It does block the visibility. So I have filed my dispute, and I believe the filed dispute means that it's back to, it is visible unless they want to fight me. But I said, fight me, bro. It like, I'm playing a game that licensed your music on the stream, and your music was like 5 bars as I moved my seat over and discussed it. There's not a person here. Like, find me the guy who was like, oh man, you know, I needed them swinging beats, man. I come here to the escape corner just to get the swinging beats of Kerrang, but not a one. Not a one! Blocking my 5-hour stream because of your 10 seconds of music. Get out of here. Stupid contact claimed by some loser. I mean, it's you know, they have we have the copyright dashboard now, and you can, it'll pop up, it'll be like, hey, look, there's a video that has your stuff in it. And you can just say like, yes, I want to claim that as mine, and does all the dumb shit. I don't know. Do you own a karambit? I have a couple knives that are kind of curvy, but I don't think you would call any of them a karambit. It's probably a copyright troll. It appears to be the actual people that do it. So they're probably just they probably just see the notice like so and so used your claim and they're like, "Oh, claim it." You know, like one of those deals. But it's like, why do you not like take the 2 seconds to look at it and see that it's on like 10 seconds of a live stream that's not even monetized? I don't even have fan monetization yet. I'm still working on those 5 hundos. But thanks to the meerkats, we're, you know, I think we're 5 more closer, up to 461 subs. Clawing our way to 500, one at a time. Oh, I got a comment. What does the comment say on meerkat video? Looking for our predators. Why no Two-Face exactly towards same thing? Beautiful meerkats. these these comments aren't as funny as the other comments I've gotten. Anyway, also I got a shout out to the guy who's like, I met you at this location. I'm like, oh, thank you, friend, for stating a place that I was one time. That's great. I'm glad I don't live there. Thank you. The people who are so innocent on the internet. They're like, here's where everything is that you are. I just said it out loud. And you're like, okay, I mean, it's the internet, so like if you're clever, you could probably learn everything about me, but that doesn't mean I, you know, just say it in a comment. Make it a little bit of a tease, a little bit of a little sprinkle. Jamie, look up who this loser is. I can let me see if I can find find the name. Krangbin, Krang, KHRUANGBIN. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, it gets better. What an interesting, what a unique group of people. Let's take a look at Krangbin. Here is Krangbin. It's that's them. That's Krangbin. Member, they got 3 members, but there's some of these photos have 4 members in it. This is sure a group. Man, what year is it? Do they know? Are they aware? You finished episode 79 of AOT. You had to pry myself away from it to join the stream. Thank you for prying yourself away from episode 79. Which one is that? The Crew Fan Club? Kruangbin? Who are these people? Anyway, they're the ones stopping you from being able to see my my sweet live stream. So we can blame 60s haircut over there. The 79th episode? Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you, Attack on Titan Wiki. 20th episode of the 4th season. Spoiler alert! Gundam on deck! Okay, this is where we're going into Grisha's memories. Muting. Okay, good. Mute! Do memories. Claim that, music people. Ba-do-ba-do. The basement. Do. The time they get to memories when Aaron. Yeah, this is the part where you get into that weird like, wait, what's really where's really? And the whole time travel debate really begins of, have they really transferred, or is it a weird like memory vision that's also, you know, visible enough to be corporeal by the person having the memory vision? Yeah, it's a, I don't think you want to say, Bunger wants to be like, oh well, they don't describe curses well in Jujutsu Kaisen. They don't explain that entire memory travel scene very well, because suddenly they're like interacting with the person and like physically touching them, and it's just like, what? Why? How? Did they travel actually to that location? Is it a brain touch? It's just weird. Only ever purchase push daggers. They did fine with the explanation. How does he touch them? Stu? Genetic time travel, so Assassin's Creed. Yeah, basically. That they're like, well, we'll travel back through these memories and look at this. And then, but then it's like touching with the person in the back. So, like, the memory, they have to be there in the memory, but then the memory can change. It gets all adulterated because he knows. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot the part where knowing something means you can touch the thing. That's the one I forgot. That's right. Now I got it. How does Johnny Silverhand, a construct in your mind, slap things out of your hand? I don't even know what you're talking about. Acting like I care about some Johnny ass Silverhands. Never saw Fight Club. So are you telling me that Grisha was punching himself in the face in the middle of the lot? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're trying to imply? One of the few books I've read in my life by choice, Fight Club, actually. And I've seen the movie as well. Grisha is his fucking khakis. Wait, what? What does that mean? Beat his ass. Cyber. How can it be the same thing? Does Johnny Two Hands, Johnny Silverhands, exist in the future, but like travels back into cyberbrain, into your cyberbrain to look at your cyberbrain memories and then interact with you in your memories in a way that physically touches you? How does that work? How can you be in the brain and physically interact with somebody? Oh, another time travel show. Oh, good. Hey, you made it. What's up?
Hey, so I think it's almost psychosomatic, but uh this isn't unique to this show. I mean, you kind of feel this, you kind of have these themes in other animes as well.
Which one? What themes?
I mean,
The
I'm
one where
trying
they
to
go
think of
back in a memory that's already occurred and they're able to interact with the memory.
the part where like knowing something or believing in something, being in the moment with something can make it real to you. This
So
might be what's go we're
so
seeing so a
Zeke
lot
is
of
the one that's having a weird like memory flash.
who?
So Zeke is the one that's having the weird memory flash that's causing the memories that he's
Well,
watching to interact with him,
Zeke,
or
yeah, well, we're kind of
Grisha's the
at
one that.
that point, and I just got finished watching it. At that point, you're really looking at through Zeke's mind because Aaron's in the background
Mm-hmm.
and they're watching Grisha, but really where you're kind of looking through it through Zeke, the way Zeke is, and I think you learn it from the very beginning of the episode that Zeke kind of sets it up. He goes, "You're going to find out what kind of terrible father your dad, your father was."
Mm-hmm.
But you already kind of know Grisha wasn't a bad dad to Aaron.
Right.
He was, he learned the lessons from that he made with Zeke, and he went and the whole time you're looking at it, you're following Zeke as he learns that his dad. Oh wow, he wasn't the asshole he was to me. It looks like he's trying to atone for his sins or whatnot, and
Yeah.
so that's what it is. And it starts with that moment where he's asleep and his dad's asleep and he's talking about Zeke in his sleep and he wakes up and he sees him and he's like, oh, he's got a beard and hair because
Mm-hmm.
he's watching that through Aaron's memories, right? And so, but Zeke doesn't know that yet. So Zeke is surprised and we're all kind of like, what? But Aaron knows it the whole time. Um,
Yeah, but
he
again, how and why do they interact?
because through seeing things through Aaron's memories, Grisha knows and can see kind of that Zeke is there. And what would you do? What would he do in that situation is exactly what he does. You've got one moment. He's about to die. You're trying, and now you see this. Um, Now you see this figure, your son. That you haven't seen forever. That you feel like you failed. It's a source of probably a lot of deep sorrow and um, you know regret, and you get to say something to him at the end. What would you do? You're not just probably you might not try to stand there. If you can see it so much that's in your head, you're going to get up and try to interact, maybe more than just talking. I think that's the emotion there, and both sides basically, both Zeke and Grisha, both want this to happen. Grisha more outwardly, and Zeke, subconsciously. But then once Grisha tries to embrace him and does, because I think that's for artistic effect.
I think that artistic effect breaks the entire point.
But that's how often. I mean, how often do we see that in anime? Something like this for artistic effect.
That sounds like whataboutism to me. I don't know.
Well, to me, it's consistent, right? So when you see it, it's like, okay, well, this is part of the emotion. This is part of the emotion that we're trying to feel. It
So
doesn't.
the Attack Titan, part of its deal is that the memories that every future user gets are shared with all of the past users.
Right. So it's
So,
like forward and backwards.
right. So if Grisha, having the Attack Titan, has the memories of Aaron going back through his memories to do this, I don't see why you can't have him knowing that, oh, I remember this is the room that Aaron and Zeke will come to, and having this sort of touching, like, I can't see you because I'm currently in this place in time, but I know you're here, Zeke. I know you're seeing me. I know you're seeing how I've acted here and how I treated you, and having sort of a touching moment where he's talking, but there's no connection, there's no response, there's no way for them to actually communicate together. I feel like you'd have a much more powerful scene there than sort of this. Oh, now they're touching and now they're interacting. How? Because now
Well, you
I'm
want a
just
guy
like,
in a weird, creepy rabbit suit to be banging on invisible glass with a knife?
yeah, basically. Like I would rather have this sort of ephemeral, like, I know you're here because I have that memory from the future, and I want you to know this, and not really knowing if he's hearing or listening or really paying attention. I think that would be a more powerful way for him to sort of apologize for like what he did than suddenly make you wonder, like, wait a minute, did they physically travel there? Like, now I'm like trying to figure out why the scene is designed the way it is. I think it removes the power of what Grisha could be saying to Zeke, and what Zeke could be saying to Grisha.
I think you're overthinking it in a scene where you're supposed to be feeling it more than thinking.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of this Attack on Titan, especially when you're dealing with the Aaron side of things, has to do with emotion versus logic. I mean, a lot of this, and that is, again, that's to me that's consistent with a lot of anime. I mean,
Mm,
especially me being a Gundam fan, it's like, ah, if I will myself during this monologue, I can destroy all the Gundams, or I can destroy all the other robots, or
yeah.
um, or your Gundam all of a sudden doing something intelligent on its own. Thinking of Katra and Sandrock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sandrock spits him out and goes, hey, you want me to leave? You want me to just to self destruct? And you kind of get those elements in there because I think that it's more.
But I think even there, we're introduced to the idea of AI controls in the Gundam. So it's a understand, like, it may be kind of goofy from like a, you want to think about it hard, like, why did the AI make this choice here, and why aren't the AIs just running around doing it? Sure, but at the same time, in the moment, I'm not questioning, oh, how can Sandrock do this? We've been introduced to that whole idea from zero, basically. So
Yeah, but it kind of just pops up when it's convenient, or it feels like
not
it
too far.
conveniently
Okay.
pops up in these you know, like I said, when I was watching it, I did cross my mind. I was like, oh, they're touching each other. Should they be able to do that? And then I'm like, I'm rolling with this because it's to me it's being executed so well that um I'm not going to be caught up in the logic behind it, because a lot of times this again the story is told with a sense of emotion.
Mm.
And so, I mean, this is escape for me. It's escapism. So a lot of times I don't need the logic to be there, just as long as it makes somewhat sense. And the fact that
Yeah.
he does Grisha does know. It's not like I don't know. Grisha does know that he's there because he's seen those memories. And I don't know. It's kind of the weird thing, you hear about guys with post traumatic stress from like war, and they flashback, and it's like they're there again. But now he's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's kind of that weird thing. You're flashing back to the future,
Right.
and he's there.
Yeah,
He's
the
right
the
there in the moment.
memory future thing, like, I get that. Like, I get
Yeah,
that. I think if they had played it a little more strict to that, they're in a memory of, and he's remembering the future memory that's going to come. I think it would be a way more powerful scene. I think it would be way more interesting and stick within the bounds to a way that there wouldn't be any level of, well, but that doesn't make sense to the whole thing.
yeah.
So I get it. I get that it's one of those things where at the end of the day, you're what, 400 episodes into Attack on Titan,
79.
79. Okay, and so it's a small issue towards the end of the series theoretically. So
I
it's not
liked it.
even like that big of a deal that they have this one little aspect where this doesn't make sense to me why they did this one thing
Yeah,
in an entire show where now we've got, Titan brains being all connected by the world tree. So like,
yeah.
I
The
get
coordinate.
that. I just I could, the fact that I can quickly come up with a way that I think would be way better for the scenes to be done makes me feel like someone wasn't really thinking when they were penning that section.
Maybe, but
So
and this is me thinking, and maybe this is just my one perspective, but to me, it's like, to me as a dad, it's just like, this is what I would want to do.
yeah,
If I felt the way that Grisha felt, or, that would be what I would want to do. And that's how I would want. And maybe that's the perspective. It might just be a preference thing.
yeah,
But to me watching it, I was very pleased with how it was executed. And I don't think I would have liked it as much if it happened the way you say it. Say
mm,
it would have been better for you. But that, like I said, that might just be a personal preference thing. But I don't think it was, to me, it wasn't awkward.
gotcha.
But at the same time, if I'd have seen it the way you said it played out, I probably wouldn't have said to myself, "Oh, it would have been better if they'd have done this." I probably would have just rolled with that as well.
Yeah, I think you would have hugged your son. You would have been like, oh, I'm gonna make sure to hug him so I don't have to miss hugging him in a memory in my future. Like,
Man, I'm wondering if you'll ever be able to watch anime like this, and not just like it, because I mean, like, big feelings, big feeling stuff. Really, he doesn't like it. Like, because he gets
mm,
emotional about it, and maybe that's just him being at a tender age.
got a high
Um,
empathy level as a kid.
yeah, he's got a ton of it,
Good.
and that makes watching movies, period, any type of um, with any type of climax, real climax, difficult
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
So
You see the conflict on scene, you see the problems people are having, and you're just like I wanna fix it. I don't want to feel it. I don't like that. That's good.
yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
that led to
It's gonna be a good
Serrano's.
salesman in the future.
Serrano's talking. No, the only time I've ever cried over a cartoon was when I was in middle school and I watched a Goofy movie. And when he makes his when Max makes his dad sad. and
Oh
he
yeah.
realizes what he did. I'm sitting there like, I should be nicer to my dad.
No, Dad, I love you. Oh.
That was when I was still a kid, though, Serranos. You can cry at your anime. I don't cry watching cartoons. I think we just finished, Alex.
Yeah, we're done. I'll drop the spoiler.
All right, now I'm gonna no. I wouldn't do that. I hate spoilers with a fiery Hellborn passion. Somebody ruined Sixth Sense for me before I got to watch it, and from after that, and Van Helsing, and after that, I was just like, I don't like to know anything about a story or a video game before it happens.
Right. We just watched John Cena and Jackie Chan are in a film together on Netflix. And I mean, the first thing I did was Google how old both of these guys are. Jackie Chan's like 67, 68. How old is he? Because this was a 2023 movie.
He's getting up there.
He is 69.
Nice.
And John Cena is age 46. So like my first thought was like, wait a minute, I watched these guys when I was a kid and they were already getting kind of up there.
I've already seen the Expendables. Is this just the Netflix adaptation?
No, this is totally just a them thing. It's a classic Jackie Chan, small Chinese kung fu special ops, John Cena, big tanky American special ops working together against the Chinese government, but kind of. It's pretty well done.
I'm trying to. What's the one where the Jackie Chan was playing Jackie Chan character, and he had a female co-star, and she was driving all the vehicles. Like,
I don't know, but
there was a lot of chase scenes with cars, and I'm trying to remember.
Before we watched this one, everyone was like, "Oh, let's just watch the trailer and see if we want to watch it." And I'm like, "Great, okay, cool." So we watched the trailer, and I was like, "Well, I've seen the movie now." And then we watched the movie, and it was everything I guessed from the trailer. I was like, "Why did we spoil this damn movie?"
I mean, on a movie like that, are you expecting to be surprised? I mean, you're not really watching it so much for the plot, but more so for the interaction and the action scenes.
So when the trailer shows like the most key scenes of the Jackie Chan fight scenes where he's using props, I was like, really? Like, that's the part I watch for, is to watch Jackie get stuck with a ladder or get stuck with a 2x4 refrigerator door. Like I want to see him get the weird prop and have to fight with it as he's like moving through a crowd. And they're like, oh, look, here's the scene in the trailer. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like you don't even need to show it so much. If you watch a Jackie Chan movie before, you kind of, or more than one, so you know it's consistent. You know what to expect from a movie that Jackie Chan's going to be in.
Oh yeah. It was funny though, because since the whole movie takes place in China, John Cena will speak Chinese from time to time because he's like American special ops. He learned Chinese so he could infiltrate and work in China. Like, it kind of makes sense that every time he says something, all I can hear is him like apologizing to the CCP or whatever that one ad was.
Yes, I was just thinking about that when you started saying that. It's like, well, John Cena being in a Chinese movie makes sense.
It's kind of funny because like he actually gets like corrected a little bit on his pronunciation, but you're still like, I don't know, man. All I hear is him saying, "I'm sorry, CCP. Please give me your money." Like,
yeah, he needs it. Apparently, he's been in financial distress for a while.
That's probably because he bought Chinese stocks.
Yeah, he
bought Chinese cruise stocks.
He bought I think the last edition of the Ford GT came out, he bought it and couldn't afford the payments.
Oh, that's why he drives a Honda.
Very sad.
He's like, my favorite car is the Honda Civic R or something like that. He's like, it's 4-door, blah blah, blah blah blah.
He probably didn't even buy it.
It's a sensible. Oh, by the way, somebody ran into my Stinger this weekend.
Oh, Damn, you got a tree on one and a accident on the other?
So the so it was at my son's
a
soccer
Chinese
game
spy.
and parked it. It's a grass lot and everything. So that's where I think it happened. But I was actually taking my daughter, picking my daughter up from church, and I was walking with her out to the car, and I saw it, and I'm like, "What is going on my car?" And I look up, somebody had probably in an SUV. It looked like turned too tight and just rolled right through the driver's side front bumper, and it's popped out just a little bit, but it's definitely gouged into the paint down to the plastic. So I'm irritated.
Wait, John Cena obtained $10 million last year for WWE related things alone. Is he just bad with money?
I mean, would that be unusual?
That is an everyday occurrence.
No, I wouldn't be that crazy. I would be more understanding if he just like forgot to make payments and got something repoed versus him not having the money to pay it. Oh, NH, we'll get to the Moe stuff. First, we got to do the Waifu Wednesday stuff. And before that, of course, we have to faff about for half an hour talking about Attack on Titan.
In 2012, Cena was hit with a $15 million tax lien on his Florida home after failing to pay a roofing company.
See, he just doesn't pay people. It's not that he doesn't have the money; he just doesn't pay anybody. You say 15 or 50 million?
15 million.
15 million.
214,000. Oh, wait, hold on. They put a comma. They put a comma where they should have put a decimal point. It looks like it might have been 15,000 now.
Oh, that would make more sense. Yeah, 15K lean.
Great job, summarizer.
It's the damn British. They're like, oh, we'll use periods where commas should go. And you're like, wait, why? Why would you do that?
It's in Forbes.
Is it a British writer at Forbes?
Maybe. Or maybe it's just a shitty editor.
Here, who uses periods where commas should be in numbers?
Pregnant
Great
women.
Britain. Wait, no. Great Britain's one of the few places that use the period for decimal places. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a roof today. Weird. So yeah. We English, Great Britain, or US English, US, Great Britain, and Thai all use the commas for thousands, period for decimals. And like everybody else is comma for decibels and maybe nothing else. And Germany and Spain use, and Norway use periods for the thousands.
So it's probably a shitty editor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope the editor got fired for that blunder.
Spoopy Moemon artwork. That'll be great. No, they didn't get fired for that blunder. Why would they get fired? It's just commas, periods.
Yeah, they don't deserve a job in the first place.
It makes people read it, get confused, and then comment. They're like, this is our most interacted with article yet. Look at that. Only 3 countries are correct? Yes. But which 3? Germany, Norway, Spain, or US, Great Britain, Thailand? That's the real question.
I think it was Italy, Japan, Germany.
I mean, they aren't. Only one of those is a period user. Dirty, dirty period user.
You said not pregnant women.
Man, don't even cap. You're into it.
What?
You know damn well he's into it.
Remember we were talking yesterday about the people who, support things against their own interests and paid it for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found this today.
I love how you keep finding these tiny channels. It's great. Want to support our tiny channel friend Michael Moe with 174 subscribers.
I'll be back. You can't keep the Democrats out of the White House forever. And when they get in, I'm back on the streets with all my criminal buddies. Bah!
Every time. Okay, let's look at the summer 2023 list. Did you watch any anime for summer 2023, Stu?
Attack on Titan.
Okay, that was not even close to the summer.
They were all bad, except actually there were a few good ones.
Does Serranos really not watch Attack on Titan? Is this one of
number
those things?
3 on the list? Let's fucking go.
I never watched Attack on Titans, too.
That's dumb.
Oops.
Not surprising though. You got no class, no culture.
Number 3, baby.
You think Attack on Titan's good? That's very interesting takes, too.
I mean, I'm clearly not the only one.
That was a great finale.
That's what I mean. You're so unique and original for thinking Attack on Titan's good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I enjoyed a thing and said I enjoyed the thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Bungo's fans keeping it number 1. Mushoku, bit of a dip. 5, 6, 7. Just like Rudy, if you know what I mean. Sacrificial Princess.
I bet Bungo fans rank things in reverse order so their show could stay on top.
They actively downvote everyone else to try to get Bungo.
Whatever is the number 1 previously, they put it at the bottom of the list.
That would make sense. It's pretty consistent with how far up it is. AOT's great. Okay. My Happy Marriage staying pretty high. Gotta agree with that. Undead Murder Farce consistently good as well. You know, solid, very solid there. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. I don't even know if this is appropriate for ranking. How much of this did you watch, Serranos? 4 episodes of the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Am I reading that right? They haven't had a new episode since 3 weeks ago.
Sugar Apple?
Yeah, because that's 24 on both.
Yeah, basically their finale was 3 weeks ago.
So yeah,
so some of these you'll see
Sacrificials
24 Mushoku 11 12 12. Yeah. Why'd you drop it?
The first bad guy that she encounters that betrays her at this first moment possible when he's acting really sus the entire time. He calls her An. Her name's Anne with an N-N-E.
Is he Scottish?
I don't know. Maybe the show's supposed to be Scottish, but yeah, he calls her An. It was really annoying.
Reborn with the freaking back and forth. Then a real steep climb at the end there. And then, so it looks like when episode 12 came out, they were ranked 12. But then other episodes brought other shows down that they were able to climb up to 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Rankings never make sense.
Congrats, everybody. Dark Gathering in the top 10. I gotta agree with that one. Very well done. Rurouni Kenshin. Nice. Good to see it. Good to see it up there. Good to see a remake getting some applause, you know? And it's not even like, oh, we're trying to redo and completely change. We're just straight up gonna redo it and make it modern animation, make it new.
I really want to watch that.
It's been done really well, and I mean, sticking it in the top 10 for this season, I think very appropriate overall.
Is that on Crunchyroll?
That's where I watched it, but
yeah, I need to drop my Apple TV subscription and just pick up Crunchyroll.
What do you watch on Apple TV?
Nothing. That's why I want to get rid of it.
I feel like there was one show that we watched, and we borrowed our friend's Apple TV sub for that. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Popular with the guy. He's an American running European Football League or something like that, or football team.
Oh, Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's the one waifu watches while I stream because I don't care about it.
they had like a dinosaur nature show
Mm-hmm.
that I watched because I like dinosaurs. I never grew up. Of course, I still don't use words like sus unironically like Serranos does.
That's
Yeah.
pretty sus.
I don't know. If you're not using common slang, that's kind of sus.
You're allowed to use sus because you're still in high school. And you can't afford manners anyway.
F-Boy Island? What the hell, Apple TV?
It's bad.
about
I'm like,
MILF
gosh.
Manor?
I
I
heard
mean,
Much
they're
MILF
releasing,
Manor, Blaine.
as much money as they're making on iPhones, they can't come up with better programming than this.
I think they're releasing a horror movie soon that. had
Hey, the
decent
Pac-12 was
quality.
almost on the Apple TV until the Pac-12 died.
Definitely a sussy baka for sure. None of these look like what we watched.
I had sherbet this evening,
Sherbet?
actually, from the same bucket as last time.
The exact same bucket
The
or
exact
same
same
brand?
bucket. I
Wow.
put it away and it got buried with other things in the freezer. I was like, oh, I still got some sherbet
It's months old.
I mean, does
Yeah.
it ever go bad?
in a freezer, Serranos.
Sometimes, you know,
things
you
work?
Was
just
it
gotta,
ever good?
you gotta scrape the top layer of ice off to get to it, but it's still good underneath
No,
there.
it didn't even have freezer burn to it.
Nice.
I mean, it's ice cream.
Last two Kenshin episodes could have been one and only negative part of the remake so far. Hey, you know what? Now that they're all out, you can just watch them together as though they were one. So, congrats, everybody. Horimiya,
Alex
definitely.
has the best opinions on this show.
He
He
does.
never comes on.
He's not even on here giving them to us.
Maybe we should have him on and not. Well, he's got to work.
Yeah, he's a busy man, busy manager man, busy owner man.
Can he give Michael a job?
No.
Michael won't telecommute. And won't wait, radio controlled forklift from California. Is
Are
that
you
what
not
want?
forklift certified?
Be like the fly.
Kids
I
don't wanna
prefer
work these days.
sorbet a lot of the time, like a nice raspberry or blackberry sorbet, if I had the choice. But man, orange sherbet is so good.
Let me just get ice cream.
Orange, lime is good too.
Yeah,
Yeah, lime's good.
I like the orange when you put it in a glass and fill the glass with Sprite.
The punch,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Sprite, the Baptist punch we always called it. Sprite, cranberry juice, and orange.
Look, it's
sherbet.
communion.
What do we do with all this extra communion juice? It's gonna go bad next week. Make some
Start calling
punch.
Start calling it the Eucharist and watch the Catholics start autistically screeching.
Michael's young. I could use him stocking shelves. See, look, you can get off your EVT, Mike. Do some work for a change.
That's physical labor. Manual labor is not just a city in Mexico.
Oh, I thought it was a family. Manuel
I mean,
Labor.
I think that's where Serranos was born. City.
Ask
I was born
Serranos,
in a
you should
city.
know. Is it a family or a city?
I wasn't born in a city.
Were you born in the Hotel California?
What do you mean
No,
we're born in a
How
city?
could I be born?
Were you just got like plopped out in county district? Like, what do you mean?
Were you born in a manger?
Airplane?
No, yeah, you said just like county district, yeah.
Oh,
There's like a county area that has like a hospital in it?
No, it wasn't a
township.
hospital.
Oh, I see.
actually, yeah. All three of my kids were born in a county hospital.
But is the county hospital in unincorporated?
Well,
Or is
actually,
in a
it wasn't
city?
like unincorporated. Actually, but it's like it's
Like our county has one incorporated town, and then we're nowhere near that, and neither is the hospital.
Got it. That makes more sense now.
So I was delivered by a pelican to a local Taco Bell.
Hurry up, Blaine. We gotta finish Fire Emblem.
That's
we
true.
gotta talk about Fire
Okay.
Emblem.
I can't
Uh,
sleep until we finish Fire Emblem.
Level 1 Demon King.
Hopefully.
I really enjoyed this one. I'm sad to see it so low, but you know that really is the high dive curse. The fact that it came up to number 5.
A true wetback.
I was gonna say it, but your face isn't on stream, so you can get away with it. Oh man. What else is on here? Saint Cecilia, Tilly. Does anything else not belong in the bottom here? Temple. How man? People in the anime community that just they see some titillation and they're like, "This must be garbage. Is this trash?" And they downvote it without even thinking about it.
Zom 100 dropped 13 spots.
13 spots? It's down here at 20. Jeez.
Bad taste.
That's impressive
indefinite
fall off.
hiatus.
Yeah, it's really the hiatus. People are just mad about that.
Skipped one, skipped one, skipped one, skipped one. Hiatus. Yeah, Temporary was way better than that, but at the same time, you get people that are like, this one's got boobies in it. I don't like it anymore. It's like, they used to be the like mainstay. You watch some anime from like 95 to 2010.
They're
know.
off and on.
No, that
watch
was like
Yeah, you from like 95 to 2010, and like every other shot would include some chick's panties, and that was just what anime was. And you were like watching the show, you're like, wow, this is really interesting. I like the way these robots are battling. It's just like panty flash, and you're like, thank you, show.
oh yeah, like
then.
Gundam,
Couple minutes.
8th MS team.
You're just like, ooh, okay. I'll
Yeah, it was
keep
like me
watching.
sitting down going, "Hey, I'll watch. Me and my son watch the original Dragon Ball," and then like
Hey, Bulma.
I'm like, "Oh wow, okay."
A
Well,
baby peeing right off the bat. I'm not looking for that.
I forgot there's a level of immodesty here.
Do you were you here when I've told the story about my mom used to quote various lines from Animal House all the time, and then I think when I was like 14 or something, she was like, "Yeah, you're old enough. Let's watch Animal House." And like the opening scene is just like, "I got the goods," and he starts pulling out all the dildos from the brown paper bag. You're like, "Hi, Mom. Thanks for showing me this, I guess." I don't remember this scene. You're like, okay, cool. Thanks for not remembering or Googling it. We have the internet by the time I was 15.
That happened to me when I was watching The Life of Brian with my dad, and we get the full frontal scene.
Classic. Yeah.
And it was just, we were laughing, then dead quiet. Because first you see
like-
Graham Chapman's dudity, and then he turn around and you see that the girl with all it is 70s bush.
Yeah.
Sitting there going, I'm sitting there like, like 13.
Yep. There's some movies that like it's like one quick scene and then it moves on, you know. Your Total Recalls, your Commandos, your action blasting through and someone happens to be topless. But there's other ones where it just kind of like sits and lingers and you're like, can this scene get over any faster, please? Oh man. Go to Life of Brian. That one's good.
Life of Brian was good.
What else is down here? Unique skill, as it should be. I'm shocked Liar Liar took last place away from Ayaka. That's impressive.
All shows with nudity should be at the bottom.
With too long of a nudity.
With any of it.
Any of it.
Any of it.
Gosh. We should be praising the design that God put into the human form, okay? That's what I think.
We should respect the modesty.
You want more payments with PayPal? Oh, find better ways to send family and friends money than PayPal and Venmo in 2024. you fall asleep, Michael? Is that your apnea kicking in? What was that? Can you
Maybe
not
he
hear me?
legitimately did.
Yeah, he's
Solano's
gone.
left too.
That's right, Stu. Fig leaves for everybody. More figs. Anyway, the
Do it tastefully.
basically Venmo, PayPal, and other banking type apps are now going to start submitting any payments you make on them as though they were like merchandise payments, and then you'll get a 1099K for that, and you have to like call them up and like be like, this is wrong, these weren't business based, blah blah blah. So to avoid that, just don't use Venmo and PayPal if you're just sending friends and family money.
Oh, wow.
Man, he is just out. Think he did the Tylenol PM challenge or something?
Maybe it's your show's just boring.
Could
Maybe
be.
it's me.
Do you ever know a
Maybe I'm
kid that
bored.
tried that? The Tylenol PM challenge? Was that a thing when you were a kid?
No.
Oh. It's not very good for you.
Our thing was the Bloody Mary.
Oh. No, this is you throw back 4 Tylenol PM and try to masturbate before you fall asleep.
Oh yeah, I have heard of that one. Not when I heard about that one later. Ours is just, are you gonna smoke cigarettes or are you gonna not smoke cigarettes?
Will that stuff apply to us in Canada? I don't know. Does Canada charge individuals based on business transactions?
I don't
That
know.
would
I
be the
just know
question.
their taxes are stupid high.
Yeah, I feel
I-
like you're already paying your taxes up there, I'd guess.
When I remember when I was buying stuff in Halifax, and it was just like, oh, this is, I wonder what the exchange rate is, and it's like, oh, it looks pretty close, and then it's like, okay, well this is not a bad price, and then you get up to the register and the taxes get tacked on.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
what is going on here?
Yawn. I had a buddy. It was the stupidest thing. He was convinced that while we were in Canada, everything costs less because of the exchange rate. He's like, if it's $14, that means it's actually only like $10. That's like, 40% off. And I'm like, that's not how any of this works. That's not.
Well, with all the taxes, that should be good for the value of the Canadian dollar, right?
I am sick of this straw man. That's not how it works. If you
I'm
didn't
just
have
going
to
off
pay,
what I heard.
if you didn't have to pay taxes, the country's currency would have zero value, and you
The
would have
roads-
like a
The
state
roads look
currency,
really
a
nice in Canada.
city currency. Roads are nice. What does that have to do with anything?
Because you gotta have taxes to
He
build the
really
roads.
might be out. That's hilarious.
That's a story. It's a short. Clip it. Make it a short.
Hold on, let me. He's gonna start.
Sleepy Joe Biden over here.
It's only 8 o'clock on our side of the world.
Oh my goodness.
Out of
Maybe
stream.
his mom brought him some warm milk and just put him out.
Yeah.
What happened to Serranos?
He just bounced. My guess is family. Snoring in your 20s. Yeah, it's not a healthy thing. Never live this down. I kind of want to see if he wakes up. That'll be
Mike Hawk down.
Oh my goodness! And they're the ones who were like, "You gotta watch the Fire Emblem video. We gotta watch it."
Neither of them made it.
No, they didn't even get past the lists.
Just say you watched it so you never have to.
Oh, there you go. Like, oh, I got copyright strike. Sorry, guys. It got taken down. I had to cut that part out.
The best moment in streaming history.
Have you ever watched what's his is it Legal Vices, I think? He has like 2 bulldogs. And sometimes they fall asleep in the room while he's streaming and you just hear these like bulldogs just
I haven't seen it on his stream, but I think he was on one of Nick's
yeah, it's so funny.
trial streams, and it was that going on.
Yeah, you just hear snoring and everyone's like, wait, did Vices fall asleep? He's like, no, it's my dogs.
You got a Boston Terrier does the same daggone thing.
Yeah. Boston Terriers too? I mean, I guess that makes sense. Any of
they're
those sorta...
brachycephalic, like bulldogs. They snore and fart all damn day.
That's the best part, right?
No.
No!
Stuff that comes out of their asses.
All right. So I had a friend.
I like how it's just going on in the background.
It's gonna keep me from getting a like a strike or like a copyright, because it'll play like some copyrighted music, but halfway through it, the system won't be able to pick up on it.
Just snoring is gonna scare away all the good Pokemon.
It might.
Moemon, I guess, right?
Exactly. So I had a friend that she got a French bulldog, and the Frenchie would shit like diarrhea and then eat its own poop. And she was trying to stop it from doing this, and she
He's entering REM sleep, Blaine. You gotta let it happen.
He's gotten deeper.
Deeper.
And so the Frenchie one time ate its own shit, and then it was like cuddling up with like her mom, and then threw up all over her mom. So it threw up, it vomited shit on her mom, and her mom then proceeded to throw up because a dog had just puked shit on her. So
Yeah.
it was those dogs, man. They're not designed to live. I'm convinced. They're like, you know what? We're trying our hardest, but maybe we won't.
They don't live long. Brachycephalic dogs don't last long.
Well, yeah, their entire life is just trying to survive, you know?
Yeah, it's like 10 years is good run.
Mm-hmm.
Like Boston's lived the longest. I think there's 12.
Boston's at 12. Yeah. And
I
they
mean,
also,
they're part terrier, and terriers live for freaking ever.
and like so many of the different like bulls and stuff, like we have to inseminate them. They can't do it on their own. Like, oh, it's so sad. The one thing that like creatures are supposed to be able to do, and they can't do it. What's up, Stranos?
I don't know what happened to Mike.
Yeah, I think we fell asleep, would be my guess.
Got in a battle with the sleep monster and lost.
How could you even?
Yeah, it's like 8 o'clock. Like, has he been up since like 4? Like, what are we doing? Although with the way I hear him, I would be convinced he's not sleeping well.
What happened?
He's back.
What happened?
Clip it.
Sort of like the Fire Emblem video.
Yeah, we already watched it.
Yeah,
I was
no.
here. I know you didn't. I heard you.
We
say
already
that.
watched it. It was
Shut up,
really bad.
fucking idiot.
It was so bad we're not gonna watch it again.
Yeah, no, it got removed from the stream because of a
I literally heard
copyright
you talking
thing.
about that. I was watching the stream.
He got
Oh,
an
were you-
email. He showed it on stream where he got a warning from YouTube. If you show it again, it's over.
Yeah, they're gonna delete my channel.
Sorry.
Then there's nothing we can do.
Could fall back asleep, Michael. You could go back to bed.
You can dream about a time when I did watch the video.
Did your mom give you some Dimetapp or something? You have some sniffles?
Nah, so what happened was I've been up since last stream.
Wait, why have you been up so long?
I don't know.
Man, you should go to bed.
Well, technically, you haven't been up since last stream because about 5 minutes ago you were snoring on the stream.
Did I? That didn't happen. That didn't happen.
I heard it happen.
Damn.
Like the first time it happened, we were like, "Is Michael asleep?" And then it was like dead quiet, and we're like, and then all of a sudden,
That's awesome.
don't apologize or anything.
Oh, you have that same stupid green shit.
Hold on.
He's getting a clip of you getting clipped.
All right, here we go.
You look so happy in that video, Blaine.
I'm so
No,
happy
no.
now. Oh, I gotta relayer these. That's my issue. This one, bring to front order, move to top. There we go. Okay. Then turn on LR again.
Comes out of their asses.
All right. So I had a friend.
You don't remember any of this.
Why?
Well,
He
what do
was
you-
clearly
What do you
asleep.
remember when you were asleep?
And he could have been faking it.
I mean, I thought that at first, but then it kept going. I was
I
like,
don't
"There's
see
no
how he
way
could've-
this is a
he could've
joke
kept it
anymore."
together.
You know, Mike went to college to get a degree, right? You know what he got it in?
Apparently, snoring. I mean, he does have that teacher that's super boring, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's gone. That was one tired pumpkin.
Keep efficiency.
It's true. All right, is this? Oh, sweet! It just pops up naturally. Sweet. Oh, worst part about this video is this person's voice. Let's turn the Pokemon.
It's
down
very
a
big
little
of
bit.
you, say.
Is it?
Yeah.
I say that about a lot of people's voices, though. So maybe I'm just a
Some of his best friends are like that.
not often. not often. I've had a few people in my friend groups that'll transition, and usually not only do they transition, they also get way more annoying and bitchier, and then just sort of leave the friend group. And it's like, well, all right. I mean, okay.
Wait, what?
What do you mean, what?
Like you got friends that randomly transition to what?
They
Car
like,
batteries.
yeah, they turn
Wait,
into
my
Apache.
ADHD must have been kicking in and I didn't catch something.
Oh, the person that we're listening to has a tuned voice. So like they are putting on a voice to sound more feminine than their natural voice
They
actually
don't,
is.
they don't
At
sound
least
feminine.
they made an attempt as opposed to those folks in the interview for the gaming awards.
LCS.
LCS, yeah.
Yeah.
Not even trying.
Why try? They're in a women's only league.
Yeah, it's like I already got the
I got
the
in.
interview. I'll have to try it.
Did you see the other one, the Orlando conference, where people were signing up as non-binary in order to get in?
Yeah,
I'm non-binary.
I've seen it in the weightlifting contests or whatever.
It was a women's only tech conference. Leon, Words of Paradise, has a video on it, and they weren't even identifying as women. They were marking the non-binary category, and it let them get into a women's only conference for tech jobs, which was primarily about networking in order to submit their resumes to get in. It's just, it's ridiculous. Oh no, Mike's internet's down.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
why
he
you
should
died.
tuck in and go down for a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. I mean, I don't hate either. It's pretty funny. But the women were like, this is just feels inappropriate that they're taking advantage of this. And it's like, oh, did people take advantage of a system? I'm sorry.
I thought this was America.
Oh, this is America.
Strong woman.
Oh,
Strong
not strong enough, apparently. I didn't feel safe all weekend. They were so belligerent. You're like, oh, okay. Like, I thought they were non-binary. Isn't that cool with you?
No.
Yeah. It's proof that, like, why does it even matter until it's the thing that you care about? That's always how it goes. Like, I really don't care that much about sports. I think it would be more fun if we had like a roid rage league and like everything was based
I
on
don't
like
care
skill
if
levels.
disappear in terms of me watching it. Like,
But at the same time,
Nobody
you at
watched it to
least
begin with.
understand why
Yeah,
other
like-
people would care and can sort of understand like, oh, I get this argument. This is a thing that like we've set aside these spaces. We've made this a thing. We want this to be special and we want them to have this. And now that's being ruined by this new thing.
yeah, allowing women to compete against each other is the only way they could ever hope to compete. It's like that's
Yeah.
why we allow it at all. That's why we even bother doing it.
Well,
And
I'm allowed to complain about it because I never tried to enable it or pretend that it was anything more than what it is in the first place.
True.
So when I say this is stupid, I don't have to worry about, oh wait, did I ever support it? No, I never did.
No. And at the same time, from the beginning, you've known the argument against it. Whereas other people who supported it and are now like, oh, wait, now this is encroaching on my
Yeah.
space. They're
Now
having to figure.
you've enabled it and now it's in your backyard and you don't like it.
You're like,
anymore.
oh, wait, I don't. It's like classic NIMBYism, right? They're like, oh, wait, now it's affecting me.
This is what we call leopards ate my face, but that subreddit is completely controlled by far leftists.
Well, it's
Oh,
red.
they
Leopard
vote
ate my
for the
face.
leopard ate my face
Yeah.
party, and then they get surprised when leopards eat their face.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go here next, I guess. I don't really know what's next. This is an interesting map. You get what you
Video.
deserve. You don't get what
A
you
video.
deserve. You get what you voted for and what you supported. It goes beyond like they deserve it. This is what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
This isn't
want it
even
to
just
be
like
cheap.
getting your just desserts. This is literally exactly what you said you wanted. You just didn't know it.
All right, more of the voice.
See as the standard for gameplay considered good, with other playstyles being relegated as just for fun, and not representative of truly skilled gameplay. Any value judgments made using these other playstyles are disregarded, or even mocked, even if they aren't trying to apply them to a certain efficient context. While value judgments are accepted to be universally true, if you fit them under the arbitrary standard for skilled gameplay.
Go down, then up, then down again. Got it.
But now, how many players
Ooh,
are
nice
really coming
Spanish
to gameplay
guitar.
discussions with non-standard conceptions of efficiency anyways? To get a better sense for this, let's take a look at my community survey on efficiency.
There's a survey.
That's right. They made a survey to get like specific data. I forgot.
Oh,
Yeah, they
survey,
want
not
us-
a not
they
a
want to ask
hervey.
questions.
Huh?
Survey, not a hervey or a mamvey.
Yeah. Ma'am, they.
Bigots.
That's
For
sexist.
players' personal definition for the term. Using their responses from that thread, I created a survey that asked players to weigh in on the most common topics. I posted the survey on Reddit, Sternest Forest, GameFAQs, and my personal YouTube and Twitter accounts. Most questions were phrased as a statement, which players would respond with how much they agreed or disagreed. I also included a
just sounds
checkbox
gay,
for
doesn't
players to
sound-
indicate which specific rules
Yeah,
and
'cause it's a
restrictions,
dude.
if any,
Yeah.
they would assume
That's because their channel title is Queenly Arts.
in an efficient setting.
Ugh.
Finally, I left a space for players to elaborate on their votes and give any hot takes or final thoughts on the subject. Within the first 48 hours, there were 332 responses, with an additional 43 in the following 2 weeks, for 375 total.
That's a lot
I
of
cannot
responses.
say exactly how many players these online communities consist of.
What? Okay, hold on. Percent of the community. Easy. How many copies of what's the new Fire Emblem called?
Fire Emblem Engage. It's not really that good of a measure because
Fire
Fire Emblem
Emblem
3 has a lot more popular.
Well, so if I use Engage, then we potentially get the some amount. So
We
we
get
got
a more favorable number towards this.
1.6 million units. Okay. If we just take English overseas, we're probably looking at a million, right? So we got 375 responses for a million people who have played this game. But he's kind of like question mark the community. You can say how many people have the game.
Well, he's talking about a lot of different games that have different sales numbers.
But I think it's fair to say that 375 responses isn't exactly enough to accurately represent the entire community. I might speculate that it's at least representative of the active community, and that it demonstrates some general trends, but
Kinda
take all
sounds
the
like
quantitative
Serranos.
data with a grain of salt. A strong takeaway, however, is the qualitative responses at the end, which express real opinions and emotions from active community members, and they should absolutely be considered in our discussion. But first, let's review the specific questions and their responses. First, I asked a few demographic-like questions to get a sense of which types of players are being represented. For how hardcore of a Fire Emblem gamer are you, the majority of players lean towards hardcore over casual, with 40% out of 4 and 35% out of 3. The majority of players had both heard of
5-point
efficiency and had an
scale?
idea of what it means and
No.
how it is applied, at 85%. 9% had heard of the term but not what it means, and 6% had just never heard of the term.
Hey, Stu, if I said there is a goal with Fire Emblem players to play in the most efficient way, do you think you could figure out what that means?
No.
You don't think you could figure out?
You know, you could like not play it. And that would be pretty efficient.
I will.
You wouldn't
take
waste
this
your
egg.
time.
Yeah, you
Isn't
should
that what
take the egg.
efficiency is?
I've taken the egg. What do I do with the egg?
You hold the egg.
Should I put it in my first position so that it follows me?
It can't. No, I think you just need to have it in your inventory.
Oh, okay. I will keep the egg. Hey, the internet's back. Sweet.
I've taken the real egg.
Did you
and
have a
I've
good
already
nap?
hatched it, and it's shit.
Michael, maybe you should go to bed, man.
Fuck you.
You hatch egg.
Maybe call your mom.
Nah.
Stu, maybe you should have good contributions to the stream.
Yeah, maybe you should play Fire Emblem.
That would
He
be
said
pretty
good
fun.
contribution.
My contribution is staying up 24 hours. Plus.
Really?
How much of that was on stream?
That geisha did a twirl.
About 5 of them last night.
Start walking. Okay.
Do you know you were up for 24 hours since you didn't even know you were asleep like earlier? All you hear is, huh? What? Huh?
What happened?
Where? Huh? Sound like Joe Biden at a press conference.
Look, man, we all gotta wake up at some point.
Let's go.
All right, I've got the egg.
As for
Break out
which
the nation.
community players found the survey from, the
All of them
majority
are from
responded with Reddit at 79%, but I'll point out that this doesn't necessarily mean that players are only coming from Reddit, as it's possible Reddit was just the first place players found it. In any future survey, I'll be sure to more clearly
No,
ask
they all
which
came from Reddit.
communities
People know
players are
exactly
part
what-
of.
They all came from Reddit.
Everybody
But for
knows
now,
what this
we can
means. dude.
acknowledge that the majority of players are involved in Reddit, with at least some representation of Serenus Forest at 6%, GameFAQs at 12%, and a few voters coming from various other spaces.
I dreamt about it.
The
Why
first
would you?
statement in the
Why
agree
would
or
you put that on a survey?
No, that was a write-in.
Oh, okay.
I think that. Well, actually, you can go back and check, but I'm pretty sure that's just a write-in answer. I hope
Fansite
it is.
also dozed off there. Okay.
That sounds like a low blood sugar thing.
You and Mike.
or disagree
To be
section
fair,
was efficiency implies actively seeking lower turn
it
counts.
probably was.
The majority of players agreed on this one, with 43% agreeing and 32% strongly agreeing. Keep in mind, though, that 14% were neutral and 11% disagreed to some extent, so players weren't exactly unanimous in this.
Hear what he
The
just
statement
Hear
was
what he just said.
efficiency implies taking less real-life time to complete the game.
Insufferable. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
He just
Rewind
said
that shit.
74%
I'm not
of people
rewinding it. You
say
guys can comment on that.
74% of people agreed with this statement. It's not really unanimous though. What's your opinion on that?
I mean, it's not technically unanimous, but like, what is your goal here? What are you trying to say?
It's
that,
like, what are you trying to say then? Like,
25% of people think this would be, more interesting if something else happened.
well, no,
or,
that's not even what it is. Like, half of those were neutral. 11% of people disagreed. Like 1/10 of your survey disagreed with your statement. You're like, it wasn't unanimous though. Oh my god.
And the breakdown too is
The last one was
efficiency implies taking less real life time to complete the game. Strongly disagree. At a 1 is 19%, then a 2 is 25%, then a 3 is 17%. So that like there's 17.
People don't really agree on the real time aspect, no.
Yeah.
But the turn count, yes. Basically everyone agreed. Except for 11% of the people.
Truly brave.
Not everybody.
Yeah. Those people are called a minority and they don't matter.
Oh wow. Racism.
Wow. I was bad in the white power helmet yesterday, but I guess Serranos was the real one all
I was
along.
trying to up the game up.
Yeah.
While real-time efficiency
And
may not
we
be
could
the
also say is
standard,
like,
the
would we
results show that
dictate our conversations to 10% of the player base or 90% of the player base?
Oh yeah. Who should we play to?
Yeah, who actually has stuff to discuss?
You better
Who's
be
more
careful because there's a lot of there apparently is a lot of people in the gaming industry who would rather cater to the 10%.
I don't know what you're talking about. See, that sounds crazy. Why would anybody do
Why
that?
would anybody
Why would anybody do that?
That is crazy, but it happens.
Can I paralyze this thing? Oh,
Yeah.
it worked.
Now you can cap it, except for it's a man.
I was worried we were gonna get into another water gun issue here, because its name is Volbeat, which makes me think it's got like electric power.
Yeah, it looks like you should be
Players
okay.
are more divided on the subject
Looks like
than
it's
one might
just
think,
bug.
with around 44% on the disagree end, 38%
What's the
agreeing, and
vote
18%
for,
being neutral.
I don't know.
Even when looking at how casual and hardcore
Bad
gamers
translation.
voted, the results are still pretty evenly split. Next up is efficiency implies only using the best units. My intention was for players to use their own interpretation of the term best when responding to the statement.
Oh yeah, look at what Bungie did. What do you think about that, Serranos? What do you think about Bungie appealing to the Latina OEIX crowd?
Latin crowd.
I haven't heard of Latine. Latine sounds like latrine, and it sounds like
Latinx.
Latinx.
That's
No,
how...
they used an E as well, and I was like, Latine, like Latine.
People don't use Latin.
Like,
Never.
like that sounds like
Never,
latrine.
ever.
That's not a good one to use.
And nobody uses Latinx either, except for fucking weirdos.
It's true.
No. I mean, you're the
So
resident
yeah,
expert.
basically this person's saying, I asked a really vague question, and the answers were completely spread across the board, and I couldn't get any answers from it. I don't know what this means.
It's surprising how it does like have a normal distribution each time. You're like, yep, that's a pretty standard distribution. Looks like.
Yeah, it looks like people just answered it randomly. Because your
I'll
question is
admit that this
completely
was not made
meaningless.
explicitly clear,
Yeah,
and
to
that
be
the results may be a
expected.
bit blurred as a result. Players were generally split, but the results skew towards agreeing at 28%, with 18% strongly agreeing.
Barely.
But keep in mind that 33% either disagreed or strongly disagreed. Players were a lot less split, though, on units that take less investment are more efficient. With 39%
This one's a little
agreeing
bit more
and 43% strongly
direct.
agreeing.
Yeah, units that are like take more time to use are more efficient. Like everybody knows that. If you've worked a job in your life and you've been like, hey, this is the new guy, train him. And if it takes more time to train the person, you're like, this guy's less efficient. That everybody gets that one.
Yeah, it's like this is extremely one-sided when he asks a question that's straightforward and has a yes or no basically attached to it.
Oh, Latine is basically a beta version of the Latinx. Oh. The one they tried before they tried.
Still not a unanimous vote, but keep in mind that the statement didn't include any
Still
value
not
judgments like
unanimous.
good or best, and was essentially asking
I'm
if players
sorry.
consider investment to be
Look
relevant.
at this one though. Look at this.
2.1% plus 5% are in the 1 and 2 category. Like that is a margin of error.
Still not unanimous.
That's like someone who like misread or can't speak English good could have like messed that one up. I'm sorry. That's basically unanimous at this
Like
point.
this person is trying so hard to defend their position when nobody agrees with them.
It's so funny.
Sounds like
Why do
Reddit.
you-
Yeah.
In their definition
We'll
of
go over the
efficiency,
Reddit thread.
specifically when it comes to units. The next statement was, taking a couple extra turns to catch a unit up would be unacceptable in an efficient playthrough. In this statement, a strategy is presented, that of spending turns to train a unit, and the value judgment of being unacceptable is given to that strategy under the context of a player's
This is
interpretation of
a
efficiency.
horrible way to phrase this.
Yeah, because what if you use a couple extra turns this round, but then the
Yeah.
rest of the game that means that they're way
Yeah.
overpowered and more efficient?
If a person understands what they're thinking in terms of being efficient should mean, they will say no to this because, yes, some units can become really strong with just a little bit of favoritism. Like, they might need a little bit, but also, the best units won't actually need much turns to catch up, quote unquote. Like, you're going to be technically playing slower because you're going to be playing around this unit so you can feed them more kills or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But the
it
goal
will not
is
change
to
your
have a unit
strategy
that's
very
more
much.
powerful later.
Yeah, and once you do this, it will save you turns later because they're very powerful. So it's just a bad question. Like,
Just train up my wife who's in the bros. Bros first though. Yeah, bros before wifos.
yeah, that's kind of a problem to have with a lot of their
Oh,
surveys.
no.
It's really poorly worded. Like
Okay,
a couple
what
of
is the-
questions.
What is the paralyzed like attack failure percentage? It feels like I
I
keep
assume it's at 1 out of
paralyzing.
6 or 1. Let me see.
I think
'Cause
it's
it-
slightly above 50%.
It feels like every time I get a paralyzer, they can still move and attack, and it's like, all right, well, I guess what's the point of doing that?
It was 25% prior to the recent gens.
Gotcha.
The results of the statement are also blurred, as many players clarified that would be acceptable, but only if the unit made up for it later, by saving turns or making the game easier. We can observe a general trend towards
Whooper.
disagreeing, but the phrasing of the question makes it difficult to discern the context in which players would find the strategy to be acceptable. Next, I'll skip to the statement, efficiency is a very specific playstyle. This one was also pretty vague, but the intention was to see if players had a specific idea
Like
of
they
efficiency in mind,
specifically
or if they
said,
felt
I
it
used a
encompassed
vague
many different
question.
playstyles. Again, I won't
Yeah.
read too much into the results of the statement, but we can observe that the results are skewed towards strongly agreeing, but still feature 19% neutral and 25% disagreeing. Perhaps the most overtly relevant to our discussion is the statement, playing efficiently demonstrates skill in playing Fire Emblem.
Oh, there's a good
I'll
amount of
repeat that I
people
do
that
not
agree
wish
with
to downplay the
this.
skill of any player, including those who consider themselves
Not a
to play
strong
efficiently.
agree, but a lot of
The most
people
common response was
generally
agreeing,
agree.
but that doesn't tell the whole story. Only 51% of players are on the side of agreeing, leaving 22% neutral and 27% that are on the side of disagreeing.
Only half of people agree
This shows that there is
with
indeed a
neutral
significant portion of the community
response.
that does not view efficiency as demonstrating skill, or that it does, but it shouldn't overshadow the skill expressed in other playstyles. The last two statements were testing how much
Other
players enjoyed playing under their
playstyles.
interpretation of efficiency, and how much they enjoy discussions under such a context. In both instances, the results were rounded around neutral, with about an equal amount of players agreeing and disagreeing. Specifically, for playing, 31% were neutral, 34%
Why
agreed,
do you keep
and 30%
buffering. What is going on here? You got plenty of.
Who knows? Have you beat the gym yet?
Yeah, I beat the gym here. I'm just
35% disagreed.
training on
For
my way to the
discussing,
next
it leaned a little
one.
more towards
And I wanted to
agreeing,
get this
with 43%, with 23% being neutral
Pokemon.
and 34% disagreeing.
leveled up.
This is interesting, because it tells us that, as a whole, respondents did not actually lean strongly towards enjoying either playing or discussing the subject matter. When comparing the responses to each other, though, we can observe a positive correlation between enjoying playing efficiently and discussing it. Keep in mind that it's still not unanimous, and we shouldn't gear gameplay discussions about efficiency to only be accessible to those who enjoy playing efficiently. I would like to go back to playing efficiently demonstrates skill in playing Fire Emblem. This statement had
Why?
a pretty clear trend
I also
towards agreeing,
think that's
but
like
we
a
can
bad
see
way
why
Never
to
this
got
phrase
that
it.
impression.
I think it's pretty stupid to lean the question so hard in your video. The fact is, like, we shouldn't be excluding people, and it's like, who is being excluded though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who got excluded?
Wait, who's you're implying that people are getting excluded because they're not skilled, but that's not true.
The only thing that I've seen so far is that like this person made some comments and got made fun of online. Like that's how somebody has been left out, I guess.
Yeah.
I've
It's
been
like-
excluded. Someone said
they want to put out these presuppositions to poison the well about the discussion. To
somebody
paint
said something
themselves as
mean
a
to you on the
victim.
internet. Like,
Yeah.
get over it.
Just pure victim mentality is so annoying.
Thunderwave. Why has he got to load?
Relation in comparing the demonstration of
I
skill
don't
through
know.
playing
It's weird.
efficiently
It wasn't
and the
acting
enjoyment
this
of
bad
playing efficiently.
previously.
This brings us back to the
I mean,
point
just,
that
like,
players wish to have
months
their
ago.
experience in video games validated and to be credited for their accomplishments.
There we go. Let's do this. This will make it worse.
Did you lower the quality?
Yep.
Now it's just a black screen.
Yeah, it's loading, it says.
Huh.
I think this breakdown demonstrates this point, and I will again argue that all players should be more open-minded when it comes to viewing the skill demonstrated in other playthroughs. The difference is not as simple as...
Also, this
efficiency is
person
tied to
hasn't
gameplay,
at all
and
described other playthroughs, other playstyles, other skills at all yet.
Yeah,
Well,
isn't their
didn't we
whole
hear he
point?
said the
They keep talking about this, but they haven't brought up what they actually mean yet. So this is like 15, 20 minutes in the video.
Maggle Knights. He only wants to use Maggle Knights.
Yeah, this person hasn't even
Mongols?
they haven't discussed what they're actually talking about yet, but they keep saying it.
Yeah.
At
They're
the
like,
beginning, they went through their thesis of that they
people
want
with different ideas
they
should
want
be
to talk
allowed
about
in the
these
community.
specific points. Like, we're going to talk about efficiency, what a gold run is, blah blah blah. Like a couple different things they want to define. They never define what they're talking about in terms of skilled play, other play styles.
Right.
So annoying.
anything else.
It's so classic too of like, I don't have an answer for how I want things to be, but I know I hate the way they are. Like,
Also, I'm gonna have to break it to you. They don't give an answer by the end of the video either.
oh, cool, great.
Well,
This is
they
just-
have a answer.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Answer?
Oh, people roast for it too.
Do I love Zubat's design in this?
Zubat's looking gloomy.
Oh, that's cute.
Why you so sad, Zubat?
for fun. Moving past the agree or disagree statements, let's take a quick look at the rule set checkbox. Here, players were given a list of specific rules or
And this is
restrictions
just
that I've
honestly
observed to be
terrible.
included as the context for efficient gameplay discussions. As the results show, no rule is even assumed by over 50% of players, and as many comments clarified, these are additional restrictions that players need to specify to be the context of gameplay discussions. So, to review, what are the biggest takeaways
Yeah,
from
that
these
was just like
quantitative
completely
responses?
worthless and meant literally
Well,
nothing.
they're a little unclear from the
Yeah,
limited
thanks
amount
for
of
the
responses
nothing
and some
burger.
terms being up to the player's interpretation. We can at least observe some general trends amongst a select amount of active community members, such as the perception of skill being correlated to the enjoyment of the playstyle.
Oh, still on the slow
Buffering?
load. Why
Weird.
What can we take away from this? Literally fucking nothing.
Oh no, we could take away two different things. Two questions that had landslide answers.
No. The results are vague. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we can't really make any conclusions from a survey because there was enough people and they didn't actually agree with my hypothesis when they answered incorrectly. They're just gonna ignore the fact that there was two extremely lopsided answers, which
Yeah.
are pretty definitive.
The only questions that had answers.
Oh, it absorbed. Dang it.
And that most of these statements aren't merely agreed upon, as some might think. Now, I would like to take the following free responses
Super
from the
effective, it
survey,
still did,
paired
like,
with
no
some recent
damage.
posts and stories I've observed within the community, to demonstrate how the various concepts I've discussed apply to our current community, and evidence how real people are still being impacted by community standards and behavior within gameplay discussions.
Real people are being harmed to this
While we can observe and
day.
analyze the various interpretations of efficiency that have been discussed throughout the years, what really matters is how players view efficiency today, and how these views on
What we learned from this video is that Fire Emblem attracts some of the worst people.
Yeah. But
The
so
heck
is
is-
everything.
Hold on.
Sounds about right.
Speed.
I watched a kid try to say that fucking My Hero Academia is better written than Arcane.
He was a Fire Emblem fan too, wasn't he?
He was probably viral with any I'm not gonna go past him.
Yeah, I haven't seen Arcane, so I can't.
Arcane is amazing, dude.
Arcane.
I haven't seen it either, but I assume it's better than My Hero.
Have you ever touched it?
Have
What?
I ever touched it?
Have you ever touched it? Have you ever touched Arcane, Stu? Have
He-
you?
He's watched it. I don't.
I don't know why you're asking me questions like this.
I'm just trying to get you to admit to something.
I want a restraining order.
I think you mean you want to speak to your lawyer.
I guess.
I'm
Gotta
sure there's a
eat these
punchline there somewhere.
keys.
Just nobody understands.
I don't get it.
Michael knows what I'm talking about.
Well, I hope you two enjoy it. Tell somebody else and get me a new sub, okay? If you guys go tell someone else about this hilarious joke and they come and they subscribe to the channel, I'll consider it okay. But in the meantime, no more silly jokes. I want to get through this.
Efficiency warp current gameplay discussions. In the beginning of the video,
Aw,
I presented
Nidoran.
the three most common styles of efficiency. The reliable LTC that directly compares turns while keeping
Seems a
high
little
odds
bit
of
native.
success. Turns efficiency, in which the
Little
player is
bow.
simply in the mindset of limiting turn counts and avoiding behaviors like grinding.
How can you suck so bad right
And
now?
real-time efficiency, in which the player is in the mindset of limiting time spent on completing chapters.
Not a single person gives a shit about real-time efficiency, but they keep fucking bringing it up. I hate it.
That's what surveys show too. Is people don't
I
really
observed
agree
all
on
of these
that.
styles to be present in the three responses at the end of my survey. I'll point out that most comments that fit under the description of reliable LTC through balancing the lowest turns with reliability all seem to be vibes only, and don't actually reference how this would be counted. As such, I'd actually like to point out my golden run concept as a common branch of the style, which doesn't have a
Oh,
way to
that's
compare
right, the
strategies,
golden
but
run. That's
attempts
what
to
they
have an
like to
objective
do.
context for gameplay discussions regardless. The only alternative that I've observed for
Did you hear the giggle there? Hold on, go back. I know this will probably ruin my
This was like a callback to something he said earlier.
No, listen to the like. So here is the, and I know you guys have all seen this 1,000 times on the internet. They will say, "I like this," and they have this like little like laugh to themselves about like how what they're saying is so clever and so smart. It is such a weird thing, but it's so consistent with this community.
These people have a tell.
I'd actually like to point out my golden run concept as a common branch of the style, which doesn't have a way to compare strategies, but attempts to have an objective
That little, like they made a joke that only they like kind of figured out. They're like, well, this wins because he can't do this, you know, like. It's such
Have
a
you ever
weird-
touched Arcane?
context for gameplay discussions regardless. The only alternative that I've observed for legitimately measuring attempts to have the lowest turn counts with acceptable reliability is ETC, but few players brought this up in their
Yeah, if you don't use that, you're wrong.
Of course,
and
I observed
bad.
many players with the turn
It's the only
efficiency style
acceptable
being
one.
upfront with their conception of efficiency relating to turn counts, but not specifically measuring
Nothing
them.
personal, kid.
Rather, many players have expressed efficiency as more of a mindset, or being on a spectrum, in which behaviors that heavily extend turn counts are discouraged, and those that push towards achieving the victory
said
condition
it.
sooner are encouraged.
That was
at the
funny.
player's discretion.
Because
Time
that's
efficiency
really
was
what it
also
is.
not uncommon.
Efficiency is like I said yesterday, is efficiency is comparing against yourself and trying to improve your own play. That's really what the mindset is, the idea of it.
Roll out.
Doing the ease of use of strategies. Some players were very outspoken about time efficiency not being efficiency.
That's a
and that
wall
we
of
can assume players
text.
spend a large amount of time coming up with their strategies. Whether or not you agree with
What's the point in putting this wall of text on the screen if you're not going to like highlight specific things that are said in the wall of text?
They don't want to talk about people that have correct points that disagree with them.
Like you could just pull out one line and like really like straw man somebody's argument, but no, you just give us a wall of text while you say what it like you could have put
they
just
know
a
nobody's
picture
gonna
of
read
some
it.
like Fire Emblem thing going on.
Yeah, the people that are actually going to read are people that disagree with them.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
this, it stands true that there are real people who use the term in this time efficiency sense, and we can't just write this conception off as invalid. If you don't wish for ease of use to be relevant in a discussion, it must be specifically stated, as to not give the wrong impression. Now, I've observed a few different interpretations of efficiency that these styles don't cover. Some players think of efficiency as basically LTC, basically speedrunning, or a no-resetting Iron Man run. I don't wish to blame anyone for having these interpretations, but I would like to make some clarifications as to avoid any misconceptions. LTC distinguishes itself from reliable LTC through, well, not needing to be as reliable, and turns efficiency because it has a specific metric for measuring success rather than being a mindset.
Great.
Doesn't
Speedrunning
have to
is
be
distinct from
reliable.
Real-time efficiency because, again, it has a specific metric for measuring success rather than being a mindset, and takes into account many aspects such as animation mitigation and technical skill for fast inputs. I've seen arguments that efficiency is like an Iron Man run, taking the reliable parts to mean that clear should mitigate the need for resets entirely. I see the reasoning, but I still think that to avoid miscommunications, Iron Man runs should be a distinct playstyle, as having a mindset for low turns or less
Yeah, I
like
feel
time
like
spent
because
does not
Iron Man
strictly
is
mean
just
players
like
will never reset.
if you lose characters, you just don't like
Yeah, you don't
save
reset.
scum.
If you let somebody die, that's your own fault. You're going to keep
If
playing.
he dies, he dies.
Yeah, that seems pretty pretty normal.
Or just like intentionally stacking
Oh,
somebody
damn
to
it,
save
it's a
someone
fight
else.
move. Dang it.
Dolph Lundgren mode.
Oh, you got dizzy. Now your attack is gonna kill itself.
Why is Rock Smash a fighting type move?
Because it smashes rocks, because it's effective against rock types.
Oh, I thought it was like smashing with a rock.
No.
I
And they
remember
might
it,
grab a
yeah.
rock, because rock can smash a rock.
I get you. Gosh dang it. Stop making everybody confused.
You're just gonna tank it.
I'm just gonna Fury Attack. Dang it, I'm confused.
Within all these playstyles, which do active community members see as demonstrating skill, and therefore acceptable in gameplay discussions? I'll once again point out that some players actively state efficiency as high-level play, and many more discuss efficiency in such a way that supports it as the standard for objective gameplay discussions. For these comments, I get the impression that they mean to refer to efficiency as reliable LTC, but actually mean the nebulous golden run that uses their personal playstyle as a
The
metric for
nebulous
success,
golden
rather than
run?
anything calculated.
Yeah, the thing
On
you
the other
haven't
hand, I observed
described
many
to
players
us.
directly expressing non-standard, unmeasured
This
styles
is
of play
more
as efficient,
stupid because
and/or
of
a
the way
method
they
of demonstrating
describe it,
skill.
and they just slant the conversation. Because when people are going to be talking about efficiency in terms of ranking other units and talk about units with other people, they're going to have standards set there.
Yeah,
The
they're
person who
all
makes the
talking about
thread-
efficiency together, you know?
The person who has the thread is going to lay out these criteria. We're not going to use this. We're not going to use that. Blah blah blah, and take this into consideration. We're not going to take into account the fact that if it's an exclusive recruit unit, like you can only get one of two, we're not going to take into account the loss of the other unit. Stuff like that. All these different things. These are things that get sorted out specifically. They're asking vague questions like, well, you don't have the specifics for this because it's set on a case-by-case basis and it differs per game.
Right. They just want to be frustrating and annoying.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ekans.
That's pretty cool. You should have an Ekans.
I should get the Ekans.
So, where does this fit in with gameplay discussions? Ideally, everyone would be able to contribute their thoughts and ideas on the gameplay, but we can see that this has not been the case. In fact, many players directly, intentionally or not, encourage a certain view of efficiency as the standard, therefore not leaving room for other views of efficiency and other playstyles entirely. As I explained before,
It's just
there are
a
a few
forum.
players
You can make
blatantly
posts
expressing
anytime
this,
you want.
but we need to remember that our words and actions can have implications past what
What
is directly
other
said.
type of efficiency is there?
My view count is tanking with this video. I hope you all know this.
I am happy.
What view count? There is no view count.
Well, it was at 15 and now it's at 7.
That
Wait,
a
when was it
lie.
at 15?
I just
I mean, if I wasn't
earlier
just
today when Stu
doing
and I
other
were
things, I would
It
have
was
checked out
fine.
already.
yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing that. Okay.
Because I'm looking at it across all
Your other
streaming
stuff.
platforms.
Oh yeah, okay, that's different. I was gonna say I've never seen YouTube go that high like consistently.
No, not during the live streams.
As a demonstration of this, I've observed many responses that reflect those of the past, in which efficiency haters are framed as angry that their playstyle isn't the standard, upset that they're being told they're bad,
Dang
or the
it!
real annoying
Hold on.
players.
Reload.
Now, if we take a look at some actual responses from these supposed efficiency haters,
No, I'll
we can see
just
that there are many
power
calm,
through.
simple critiques against efficiency as the standard. It appears to me that a lot of the frustration from both sides is rooted in miscommunication, but also some bias in the aforementioned concept
View
of
count
players
or
wanting to
brain
be right and
cells.
have their experience
Yeah, little
validated.
column A, little column
I think
B.
the overarching issue is that objective gameplay discussion cannot occur outside
almost
playthroughs with
died
clear
before
metrics for
watching the
measuring
video.
success,
People surely
but
did
players
during
wish to make
it.
comparisons regardless. With efficiency pushed as the standard, players think that a baseline has been established, but end up just talking past each other. Meanwhile, some players don't even wish to have objective gameplay discussions under a certain interpretation of efficiency, but they get dismissed as just playing for fun, or using meme builds.
Yeah, they're
usually
memes.
It demonstrated how
You
attempts
people
at
that
objective
don't
gameplay
people that don't
discussions
want to agree to stuff. Like people that say like I don't want to talk about it that way. And you're like, okay, so I won't talk to you about it this way.
I'm going to dismiss you.
Yeah, I'm gonna dismiss your discussion that said you didn't want to talk about this. Like, okay.
A copyright strike can, but a copy claim usually doesn't. Usually it just brings down the one video that somebody was upset with. But I think a strike does put like a little suppression on your channel, but I don't think I have a way to prove that.
have overshadowed discussions that don't wish to use the same metrics of lowest turn counts, high reliability, going as far back as 15 years ago. This behavior resulting from efficiency as standard is still relevant today though, and you don't even need to look far back, with it being present in most every attempt at gameplay discussions in the community. Specifically, players will often interject their thoughts on units or strategy with a general good or bad value judgments. In a discussion about their
Yeah, people say
performance in
good
the
and
reliable
bad.
LTC run, this may
Yeah.
be supposed to mean resource inefficient, or doesn't save turns compared to other similar units. Just saying X unit is bad, don't use them, assumes that the other player is playing in that reliable LTC context, or at least attempting a vague golden efficiency run.
That's not really
but again,
what it
we have
means
to
at
consider
all.
what our words might imply.
But okay.
Just-
Because
That does-
usually when people say bad, it's because the unit just like doesn't perform. They just like really suck. They can't kill enemies. That's usually what people are going to talk about when they say they're bad. Because yeah, they're hard to use. They're less effective.
It doesn't work
this
for what you're
person-
trying to do, which is
This
beat the
person
game.
says that people are it doesn't work when your character dies trying to kill an enemy. It's not very useful.
Right.
And this person wants to say it's all vague. They don't make any definitive statements because no, there's a lot of randomness that goes into things. But there's also the fact that every character starts with like X bases. And if a character starts with bases that are too bad and you have to train them up, you have to evaluate is like, hey, is it worth training them up? No, it's not. They don't actually ever become good enough to be worth it.
Right.
And you don't need to have all these like statistical numbers. You don't need to get out a spreadsheet to show them, okay, here's what happens if you kill these couple enemies on this map and then that map and that map and that map, and just like go down the list of all these possible outcomes. It's completely unnecessary. To like statistically write out every single thing that could possibly happen, like this person seems to want to, is like the reliable LTC where we
Is
get
that
all
really
the
what they
numbers.
want? Is to like have people play that like paper game before
Well,
they play?
They say that if you don't do that, you cannot have these discussions because you're not being.
You're
I
not
don't know.
maximizing your efficiency.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Just their stupid interpretation of it. It's like you can't be making definitive claims if you don't have definitive answers.
Just saying good or
Boo.
bad may make some players think they can't perform well, or would not have any place in the more general turn efficiency setting. I've also observed that if players do employ certain strategies or units that aren't considered good in the golden efficiency run, they have to downplay their skill, and say, haha, I know it's not good, but I did this, when in reality it was just as much of a demonstration of skill, and could still be included in the loose definition of efficiency, as they weren't going for a reliable LTC in the first.
I mean, if someone was like, "Oh, this is kind of dumb, but I did it," like they're just trying to point out something where they're like, "Oh, I know this wasn't the best thing to do in this situation." They're just preempting the argument. Like if
Yeah,
they say,
I
"Look at my
literally-
efficient run."
It's not
I
like you
literally
have
did
to,
it.
because you can also just say, "This is what I did." It's just that it was fun.
During
Yeah.
the
And do you
three
think
house-
people are just going to get after you saying like, "Well, you should have used that person because."
Yeah, no one's gonna do that. People don't act like this generally, but like, I
This
guess some
person
weird
does.
spurs might. I did this during my Three Houses maddening run, where I was just like, yeah, efficiency's kind of bullshit. I'm gonna do whatever I want, and then I did. I made Petra a fucking magic user, and that's very bad.
You did it.
He did bad things because he wanted to.
Congratulations. This person
I'm like
hates
the
you.
Riddler.
First place. While players interjecting value judgments in other contexts is hardly uncommon, I'll go ahead and point out a few recent examples. A very common one is calling
Maybe their brains are inefficient too. Oh, that would make sense. Thunderwave. Petra is queen.
Unit
Why video?
of the villager archetype bad, oftentimes with strong wording. This one is especially concerning to me, because any player that attempts to defend their performance is always met with harsh criticism.
People online were mean to me.
Harsh
All this is
criticism.
saying. They harshly criticized. That character's shit. You harshly criticized me.
No, under
It's like,
units.
Wait, why are you taking it personally? Because I think a unit's bad.
Like the meme where the guy says, "All right, I'm gonna look and see what the internet's all about," and the first thing is kill yourself. Okay.
Well, that makes
It's like
sense.
he got into an argument over these units and then got pissed off they lost.
Exactly. He got out. He was like, "I'll show them. I'll make a video
They're
and a
all
survey."
toxic.
Survey says.
Despite not having clear metrics that would legitimately deny the units of a training arc. I specifically observed a recent thread about Donald that painted using him as the incorrect answer, when the original poster
Is this dickbag wearing a bucket on his head? What is this?
Yes, he's wearing a pot.
It is very endearing.
Also, yeah, he's a pretty bad unit.
Oh, that's funny.
never even specified
Genuinely.
reliable LTC or turns efficiency to be the goal.
What game is Donald in?
Awakening.
He's in Fire Emblem 13 Awakening.
That's a ways away from where I'm at.
As for classes, I observed a thread pointing out best classes being a myth, with comments quick to defend Wyvern Lord as the best class, without even discussing under what metric it's supposedly best in. On a similar note, I saw a post simply showing Ivy in
best
the
at
Mage Knight
killing
class,
enemies.
saying that the class change worked for them, and asking what players use Ivy in. Of course, some comments were quick to interject that, well actually, Lindworm is Ivy's best class, when that wasn't even the prompt, and discredits the contributions of the original poster. As another example of comparisons being assumed to be made under reliable LTC standards, I'll point out a post that I made, which essentially showed a tier list made from the average.
There's the chart. What about
Here's
it?
the tier list. Where Seth is at the bottom because he's a fucking idiot.
Or Seteth, right?
Yeah, Seth.
I say I could bring up that thing.
Whip it out.
Of how I judge each unit to perform in my playthroughs. I labeled it as personal experience and didn't say who's best or worst. It ended up not getting a lot of traction, and the couple people that did respond seemed convinced I was.
We can keep playing a little bit more, then we'll go check out the thread to see exactly what was
Please.
said.
I
we
didn't
not
label
do
it best or
just
worst,
quit?
but I put them on a tier list. What?
Also, yeah, I just want to play the video a little bit more and then get to this because I want to talk about their stupid response.
Gotcha. Okay. This is all for you, man.
We'll take.
Okay?
We're gonna take.
Next
their-
time you're like,
how they
I want to watch
interpreted
this
this.
video and I want to
Yeah.
review the Reddit thread and I want to do the thing, I'm gonna say no, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna say yes this time. Okay.
Was trying to make objective value judgments on the units
Thanks,
in a reliable
Mom.
LTC setting.
Yeah.
It took a tedious back and forth for the other person to finally understand the concept of ranking units without trying to make objective statements about their performance. Another contentious issue was when I
Okay.
tried to give my input on unit placements in an engaged
Yeah,
tier list,
the way
in
they
which it seemed
interpreted
players were
this
assuming
was
a golden
very
efficiency
funny.
run, despite that not being made clear in the description at all. I'll give credit to the posts for having more descriptions about the context of the run than many tier lists do, but I still believe my arguments for my atypical placements to be valid, and always asked for players to give a counter-argument if they felt differently. A couple other voters had similarly contrary views, one of whom
Fight me,
expressed their
bro.
concerns directly with the poster
Debate
about
me,
how the terms
bro.
weren't clear,
1v1 me
but
on
this
debate.
didn't go well for us, and most of the regular voters took it upon themselves to disregard attempts for a genuine discussion, and talk about how anyone who voted differently was
Unrelated but
ridiculous and
still
just didn't get it
interesting.
in the public subreddit Discord.
What?
From what I've heard, being name dropped and really talked about in the Discord behind one's back isn't an uncommon experience, and though I recognize that not everyone is involved, I think it reflects very poorly on the community and makes for a space that should be about having engaging discussions, more exclusive than inclusive.
Oh man, Whooper
I'd
can't
like to
get
conclude the
electrocuted.
section by pointing out a couple
What?
posts and stories
Yeah,
that demonstrate how
Yeah, I think
efficiency
that's
as the
good enough
standard
for,
has led
this
towards
little
players
bit.
feeling excluded from the gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah, let me read what this person was talking about.
In-
So, yeah, this
in
person.
this?
It was the last comment where they had their little tier list. Basically, they ranked a character a lot of people liked at the bottom, and they were like,
here's
how
the
does,
tier
how does that
list.
guy? Yeah, how does that guy end up in C tier, anyways? Oh yeah, because one run I used him, he was really good because I used him the way other people would recommend he's used. A couple runs I reclassed him into classes that were worse. He performed worse. And then there was one time I used I played a random deploy run, and he didn't get deployed, so he was bad. That was their argument for why they put him lower on their tier list, is because there
So
was
this
a
is
run.
a queenly post. Okay.
Yeah, this was this person. They had a run where they didn't deploy him,
Yeah,
and they
one-
used that as justification why he was bad.
One S tier run, he swept large portions of most every time skip map. B2 B tier runs, War Master and Grappler were good, but he was just comparatively not as great as my other units. C tier runs, he was just an adjutant for Falcon Knight Leone. And D
That's why I
tier
didn't go into
runs,
specifics, because it doesn't mean
he
anything
didn't
to
get
you.
deployed much at all in my randomized deployment run, and the Dark Bishop run was unfortunate for him.
So basically, he tried to use him in or one time he just literally didn't use him and used that in his ranking criteria because he didn't use the character, so he ranked him lower. And then he also reclassed him in probably the worst way possible and said he was bad in that way.
As mentioned, this isn't ranking the units based on how objectively good they are. This is simply taking the average of how they performed across my many playthroughs, which is indeed dependent on the decisions I made when building them. The idea was to demonstrate how different players make different use of various characters in practice, rather than talking theoretically about how players should use units. This could perhaps bring to light a tendency of certain units to perform well with various builds, levels of investment, but this was mostly meant to be a thought experiment that asked the question of how individual players' experiences with units relate to the popular builds that dominate unit discuss. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I didn't make a tier list. based on things. I wanted to make a tier list to start a conversation. Oh, good. Who cares?
Great, but also you used the character worse, and then you said that they're bad because they weren't good at everything. They're only really good at the one thing
I
people
didn't.
said they're really good at.
No, you misunderstand. I didn't say they were bad. I put them lower on the tier list. That's two different things.
While some players may like to fixate discussions of Fire Emblem on the optimal or even easiest strategies, it is ultimately a video game series that is meant to be entertaining, and as such, players will engage with the games in different ways. This is especially true for Three Houses, which specifically is centered around freely reclassing units and offering an endless variety of crazy builds. Assuming that popular discussions are representative of every player is obviously faulty, and disregarding those who don't play the most common way completely betrays a lack of understanding of the concept of fun. You're so
Yeah,
not
thanks for
fun.
that non-binary response, person.
This is why I enjoyed the video as much as I did, as much as I hated it. I enjoyed hating
I'm
on
glad
it.
someone did.
Because this is where I knew they were an idiot, but then I got to this, I just couldn't stop laughing at, because I saw its tier list, I was like, that looks weird. I
Hey,
wonder
what's
why
up,
people are hating on
Moyasi?
it. And then you get into the thread, see the responses, like, man, they really are stupid.
Yeah, that doesn't seem really really interesting at all.
It's like, why are you actually concerned? If you want to just like play however you want to play, why are you bothered other people discussing things under their terms?
If
Yeah.
you put out a list of, I think these characters are best, worst, in the middle, etc., etc., you should expect other people to be like, nah, brah, that person needs to move. Like, every time I pull up my waifu tier list, someone's like, they're in the wrong slot. It's like, that's the whole point, like, of me comparing things to each other, is that other people are going to take a look at what I'm comparing and say, I'm wrong about my comparison. Who cares? That's kind of the point, is that I can throw stuff up here and people can say, oh, I agree with this or I disagree with that.
It's like they didn't want people to be discussing. It's like they're upset that people are discussing things.
But they just said, oh, I wanted to make this as a discussion point. But it's like, no, you didn't. Because you're mad that people are discussing it.
Yeah, you're like, people disagreed with it.
Do I have anything to add? Did I actually...
Bunch
And
of
a lot of these
bigots.
people just didn't show up in the season, right?
Bigeto.
Did you ever watch Royal Ivy's or Pride Royal Ivy show?
Oh, I got Megumi. Pride
You
Royal
definitely did not
Ivy?
watch
No.
That was the villainous show.
Megumi's pretty... Like, she's got some medical skills. She gets C tier. Oh, we need to ask Veritax where any of these Dreamin' Boy characters belong.
Vertex fell asleep. He couldn't do it.
He couldn't make it. He's like, oh, I forgot
Actually, I
all
don't think I
that.
saw him. I saw him here at like the beginning. I
He
think
probably
he left,
did the right thing, and when he fell
He
asleep,
left
he didn't do it
before
on
Michael
air.
did.
He didn't resuscitate himself when he fell asleep.
Ugh.
Okay, Michael, Fire Emblem's done.
What?
Now you need to sleep.
Oh, true. All right, boys. I'll see you next time.
All right, see ya.
Blaine, do yourself a favor and start moving around characters within the tier list before you just keep adding them.
Wait, why? Who do I have to
Because
move?
I'm sure your opinions have changed since the day you added them.
Well, I have moved some people around. We
No.
started
Like 3 people.
You've moved around like 3 characters. I don't think you watched enough shows.
Yeah, who needs to move?
All of them. Your
Name one.
opinions have not stayed the same from 12 weeks ago when you placed over half these characters in the exact spot they currently rest.
Okay, then pick one and tell us where it should move.
Yeah, I'm
Any-
a
I
man
like where
of
these people go.
consistency.
All right, I'll
What
pick
show?
one.
What show?
I
are
like
you
steak and
watching?
potatoes. I'm gonna
Followed.
eat steak and potatoes.
I 10 years of marriage, 15 years total. I have loved my wife. I knew back then she was number one. Today she is still number one. When
She
I
is.
place a woman in a position She stays there until she makes some major change that allows her to move up or down.
When I put a
Waifu
woman in her
tier.
place, she stays there, man. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
What do you think? You think Urza moves up because now she's in the house? No, now she just sits at a desk in the house. Nothing has changed about her character. Like, I don't know what you want from me, man. I'm less fickle than you, I guess.
I just feel like you place characters in a certain spot,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, that's
They're
how
in the
this
same
works.
spot 12 weeks later after 12 episodes of each show.
Michael thinks you don't take in consideration the beach episodes. How could you forget the beach episodes?
feel like
What
that's
beach episode? Who
I feel like
needs
if this was a fair tier list, there'd be some fluctuation.
to move? Shizuka from Undead was a blank kind of like, I'm the character that gets cranky when you touch the master and I have to deal with these things, and like she's the same character at the end that she is at the beginning. Like what do you want
I've
from me, man?
never watched Jujutsu Kaisen, but you know Mei Mei's pretty hot, so I'd move her up.
Mei Mei is
I
pretty
think
hot.
Her haircut's
She-
stupid as fuck. Lower her.
Who?
Maybe.
Mei
Well,
Mei?
Yeah, her haircut's stupid as fuck. Lower her.
Where it's like
like
right
it.
in her face. The
Yeah,
only
I
thing
think
that's
that's
annoying
pretty
about
good.
Mei Mei is that little boy that follows her around. That's the like, get out of here, kid.
That too. That too.
But I
What I
can't hold.
like about it now that I didn't like about it when I saw it, like several months ago, was you had a ton in S and a ton in A tier, and I was like, well, shouldn't it be more like
like a
averaged out?
normal distribution.
And
So
yeah.
now
why
it
is
now
Sofita your
this
top
looks
waifu
more
blame?
correct because B and C should be the highest populated, and it is. S should
what
be
makes
like the best
Sofita
of the best.
waifu?
Because Sophia has that attitude of like wanting to get stronger, having a connection with the main character that they can kind of have to themselves, and also creates like a deeper relationship between the two of them. Soft spoken, nice. I don't know, it's just a fun character overall, and the way that they interact with the main character also kind of endears you to them beyond what a lot of other people get. That's also kind of why like Mia's on there, right? Because she shares in some of the issues of the main character, and they can work on it together, and so
She's a very compassionate person.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's good. Good answer. I'm still waiting for Michael to answer.
What?
He went
Who
asleep.
needs
Who needs to move up? Who needs to move up? Do you want to move with the Hulk girl?
Eiko
You know,
from
the Hulk
Dark
girl?
Gathering.
She need
She's
to move
in
up?
C tier. She needs to be way higher.
Why does she need to
Who?
move up?
Hold on, Dark Gathering.
Dark Gathering Eiko. Because we learn more things about her. We like her.
Do we like her?
Yes.
Wait, Aiko.
I mean, I guess that's
Next to her.
subjective, right?
Right.
Aiko,
Oh,
the
there you
other
go.
Aiko.
I was like, Aiko? No, Aiko. Okay. I feel like what we're learning is bad.
I don't know if
Okay,
she would be
okay.
a stable
considered
position
that.
for the next 30 years. Michael, if you buy a house, would you buy a house that's in like this nice stable place with a good foundation, or would you buy it like in Hawaii?
Yeah,
Well, I would
right
buy
next to Oprah Winfrey.
I would want the value to go up over time.
Do you want a house that's gonna blow up? Is that what you want, Michael?
No,
And not-
you want a house that you'll enjoy living in.
Yeah, and obsessive stalker girl.
Yes.
She's a flat C because she shares a struggle with the main character, but everything else about her personality is like, I don't know, you need to get out of
It just
here.
kind of screams danger.
Yeah, this is the danger. Fuck.
Should be
Although
higher.
Sylphie should probably go up a little bit. She's like super loyal and she's great.
Also
like,
that,
homemaker.
but I don't watch that show.
And she's a good friend. And she was a good friend.
He
So-
just friend zoned her. So.
Sylphie's a good friend. Friends can go into B tier. It's allowed.
Yeah, that's
Where's
good.
where's Nobara?
Nobara.
Where the fuck is Maki on this list? Where's Maki?
Who?
JJK.
I don't know. Did I not have a? I might not have had a.
Yeah, because when you were making these
Thumbnail.
deals, you're like, this character don't even show up yet, and then you don't add more characters.
Wait.
You do.
Oh, Maki's Zen in that person.
Are you
I don't know who
upset
I
that
don't know who that
Maki
is.
like turned her head in a scene and I didn't put her in?
Yes.
She has one line.
Michael likes his women not speaking
Hmm.
because
I
then they
want her in
can't
the
say no to him.
background. She has no
Because of the
powers.
She's
implication.
there. She's in the background. She's the best character.
She doesn't do
Because of the
anything.
implications, Serranos. Thank you for getting that.
She shares
like
a scene with Panda. I think the issue is Annie List. I don't think had her in the top little
Yeah, because she
five. when I
doesn't
was
appear
saving
in the
pictures.
show.
That's the gayest way of sorting them.
How?
They aren't in the top 5.
They don't.
of the
She doesn't
characters.
show up in the show,
Not even-
Michael. How could you bother rating her in the seasons where she doesn't show up?
She didn't show up.
Send
at
Michael
the
to bed.
at
Get
the
him out of
beginning.
here.
You got calls, Mom.
the
Time for
beginning.
Grandpa to take a nap.
Okay,
I also-
here you go. Here you go. You ready? So this is the full character list on Annie List. All right.
Mhm.
Scrolling. There's no Bara. All right, scrolling. Shoko. Scrolling. Rico. Scrolling. Mei. Urahime. Keep scrolling. Misato. Scrolling. Keep
I think they're
scrolling.
missing characters.
Granny.
Maki.
Right there. What the fuck?
Look at who's above her though. Rory.
The Paper Bag Head is above her.
That's a major villain. I don't know which
The
one.
guy that had like a 2-second scene where he was like, "I'll
Major-
fight you."
Major villain.
Major
And you are-
villain.
Look at Panda. She's next to Panda.
She's actually above Panda.
I mean, 2 above Panda, sure. The list stays.
I'm just saying,
Done
you
with
were
that.
biased.
She's not ending up on the
At
list,
some point.
Michael.
Did
It's
you?
too
Here,
And
late.
do
If-
continue, Bleach.
If there's a way I can invite editors to the list, you guys can add more tiles.
Well, you can just make your own list.
That is
Wait.
cringe and takes too much work.
Oh my god.
That's why I
Imagine if
haven't been
everyone
doing
was
it.
just making their own lists. There'd be pandemonium. Too many lists.
Oh.
Too many lists.
Should we
Michael, I brought it on my list. You could just make your list too.
should we
crazy.
have MF Ghost number 7 and then the girl have separate tiles on the
No.
list?
You gotta
No?
put just that
Okay.
go 7 because she's hotter.
Okay. Sounds good. More panty shots. That's what we need.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Why does your bead
today,
roll
I'll
have
be
2
back.
attacks?
God, I love this meme. Do you guys know this one? The yeah boy cooking meme.
You pick up
A you buy cooking meme? I know those.
No, not ya buy, ya boy. Yeah.
your palette knife
Yeah,
and then
boy.
work that into meat. Give your meat a good old rub. That's it. Nice and hot. Hot and spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. I love
We're gonna be doing that at the conference, Blaine. We're gonna be
the
doing that
whole time.
the whole time. We just like whenever we see food, we're like,
Yeah,
boy.
Oh man. You also like ya buy cooking? What's ya buy cooking?
Hato cooking streams?
Hot tub cooking
bet I
streams?
No,
What is
Hato.
it?
H-A-A-T-O.
Oh, I thought it was like a
Hato.
kick streaming thing or something. Combine your 3 lists into one giant one? You mean the list of averages where everyone's just C tier?
Let me see. Let me see if I can get one that's like a compilation of her cooking stuff because it's funny.
I would only have mine in A and or S and F tier. So I can see
Hot
it.
Shama cooking dark matter pancakes.
Dark matter pancakes? What the heck? I need way more Pokeballs, I think.
Buy a bunch of Pokeballs.
Because I got a
did she
female
buy?
Wooper and I can't catch it because I don't have any freaking Pokeballs.
That's very sad.
Oh,
Especially
new
'cause Wooper is
balls.
So cute.
no balls.
no balls.
What the
I'm
hell?
too lactose intolerant today, so I'll be back.
Gee, Baloo, what is this?
She's very high pitch.
I thought we weren't watching any more videos from Serranos.
I
I mean, at least this one's got more action to it.
There's a shonen battle anime in comparison.
Just squirting some red in it? What? Oh my gosh. What are you doing?
This hot
No!
chocolate cooking.
Is that kimchi?
しばらくだよ。何の変哲もない。
Oh my gosh, it's so dark.
This is not a pancake.
Why did it turn out?
パンケーキの出来上がりです。皆さんもぜひチャレンジしてみてくださ
I
いね。
encourage you all to give it a try. Oh.
Blueberries on it.
Here's blueberries.
What in the hell?
Hold on.
Did you know that these blueberries are only the top 1.1% of blueberries picked in Japan?
Banana.
またしてもダークマターを作り出してしまったハーチャマ。見た目は悪くて
It
も
may
美
look
味しい
like
という
garbage,
驚き
but
のハーチャマ
Hachama
クッキングだが
cooking is
やはり
supposed to
見
be
た目が正し
delicious.
く YouTube 君にバンされてしまうのは本末転倒。いい加減火加減を覚える日は来るのかハーチャマ。次回のハーチャマクッキングもお楽
This
し
to
みに。
pancakes and cooking is what Fire Emblem is to gaming.
That was terrifying. That made me like a little sad. to
Yes,
see
it's
those
over,
pancakes.
Alex. It's over.
It's over. You're loving this novel. The MC doesn't give a damn about the waifus attracted to him. Overlord?
No.
I was gonna say, I feel like Overlord, he really cares, but he doesn't know if he can do anything because he's a skeleton man. Wait, did Alex finish Overlord?
I think he has 2 volumes left till he's
Oh,
caught
okay.
up.
This diet is why she's the strongest idol. Yeah, apparently. She's like, yep. I have a stomach of steel. Old
you should
steel
talk to
stum,
that
they
dude.
call her.
You gotta talk to that dude with the red suit on.
The red suit guy? Okay.
Yeah,
Does he give me Pokeballs?
maybe
How many would you like? Let me click. Give
sometime.
All right, guys, it's time for me to check out.
Me... Alrighty.
I beat you. I made it longer than Stu.
I don't think you did.
No, you
I don't
didn't.
know that it counts.
That was about an hour ago. You lost that race, and you don't. There's no proof that I'm actually leaving to go to sleep. There's absolute proof your ass was asleep.
Are you rescheduling for like tomorrow with that that Catholic guy, or are you gonna be talking with him later?
I don't think we're gonna be rescheduling for tomorrow.
Okay.
Perhaps we'll see. I think it's an interesting discussion because I think that it's gonna be. I think a lot of people are gonna be talking about what's coming out of the Vatican. This meeting's supposed to last about a month, and it's got, like I said, there's 3 huge topics. Are they gonna start allowing priests to get married? Are they going to start blessing same-sex marriage, quote-unquote marriages, and are they going to allow women to be priests? Those
Can
are
you
all...
even name a Vatican, Stu?
Huh?
Can you even name a Vatican?
The Vatican.
Can you
There's
name
all-
one, though?
There's only one.
It's only the one.
Nah, but you gotta name one.
The Vatican.
5. What do you mean?
Name every pope. Oh, so you're
Yeah.
Catholic? Name every pope.
Yeah. How many popes were in the Holy Roman Empire? Is Fuentes appearing? No, not that one. The new guy. I saw this is the guy I think Ricada went on his channel too.
Yeah,
Oh, Eric July.
so Chaco and I and
No.
Nick were all part of that same group that, friend group from years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
And
Number
Chaco
one
was
favorite
actually
waifu?
Chaco was actually the first one to actually get a YouTube or get a podcast or whatever going attached to the Dick Show. It used to be called Here's What I Don't Get with him and a guy named Nick Mahaffey. Nick Mahaffey is the one who did the intro song to Nick Ricada's stream.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that's all part of the
Part of the
That's
crew.
part of the old Dick Show and Biggest Problem in the Universe lore. That's where we're all part of that friend group with another gentleman who is really the ringleader for all the fuckery that went on. So
Are you following the current Dick lore?
I mean, I know that there's something going on with Eric July
The Dick Nick
and
July lore?
Yeah, Eric
Yeah.
July made a really shitty comic.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything. I think I remember Eric coming on Nick's show, and I thought he was an okay dude and a pretty decent guest. You know,
I think
Nick's
if you're ever threatening someone with legal anything, that going unannounced, like unplanned on somebody's stream to talk about the events related to a potential legal matter is not wise. I would say that.
Is that what he
Based-
did?
Yes.
Eric July like super chatted like, I'm here, let me in, and Nick was like, I'll send you the link. And then at first
Did he give him a warning like, hey, maybe you don't want to talk about this or something?
At first Nick was like, I don't know if you want to say it like that. Maybe you should say that, you know, this or this. And he's like, no, this is what it is. Kept giving him the this is what it is kind of thing. And then, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through, then Nick was like, all right, I'm going to be an asshole too. And like they both were,
Oh, is
were
that what
pretty
he
dumb in
ended
that
up
whole thing.
apologizing for?
No, he
Yeah.
apologized for like a later stream where he really railed him.
Okay.
Oh, he did more than that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, you
was
shouldn't
the
have let
first-
the guy on, period. Like,
Yeah.
let him go on his own stream. Yeah, and then Matt at the Internet also did a whole stream where he was talking about, he's like, this is not, now Nick is just going around to other people's audiences, stirring up drama, and then like leaving with parts of their audience.
Noel is just fucking stupid.
What is he like a raider, like a bandit coming in?
Yeah,
And it's like,
he's like, hey, I like Dick. I'll say that Dick is probably just joking around, and that'll poke that bee's nest, and that bee's nest will shake some honey into my honeycomb. Like,
well, that's the
I mean,
thing.
his
Like, I
argument
don't.
was just, I can't control him. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Nick's whole premise is I'm an observer of the goings on, and I'm not really here. I might give an opinion, but for the most part, I don't care. And I think that a lot of people have a problem with that when it's their fan base or their guy or gal or whatever who's
Mhm.
at the center of controversy. And and a lot of people are like, well, why aren't you sticking up for X? And he's like, that's not my place.
well,
Right.
and on top of that, you have someone like Eric July, who when Nick says, I don't know, I think Dick's probably just being a troll, then equates that to like Nick and Dick are bros. He's like your partner. And it's like, I don't think that makes them like best friends. I don't even know if they talk. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they're good buddies, at least professionally.
Yeah.
They're good buddies. Like when we
but
were at
even
Road
if
Raid,
even if you're good buddies, right? Like you still wouldn't like attach someone's actions to somebody else just because they're like, I don't know if they meant it that way. Like that's not where you like hitch wagons and like make connections.
well, not only that, but being a troll is kind of Dick's forte.
I'm thinking about waifus, Bono. Don't worry, I'll come at you in a minute. But yeah, being a troll is Dick's whole thing.
like all the way back to the Dr. Phil, like before he was a YouTuber, a podcast guy. When he was on Dr. Phil, the whole thing was a troll.
Yeah.
Men are better than women. Great troll. It makes a commentary as part of the comedy, and I think Dick is funny a lot of the time, but a lot of the time I don't think he's funny, and a lot of times I don't agree with his takes. So to me, it's just like,
I think most of my issues with Dick Masterson come from the people around him and not him. So that like I don't, other than being kind of like a little bitch on X where he'll just like block people all the time, which you're allowed to block people, but I can still call you a bitch when you do it. It's issue. Well, he blocked Lofty and he blocked Medicare. Like it's like, oh, you're gonna block Dad? Come on, don't be so petty. But it's like you have more issues with Vito and with what's that producer's name? He's got his producer's the one that like went to Eric July's place of business and put stickers all over his windows. And it's like, that's not smart. Don't do that. You're gonna die.
Like, to me, that seems like
Vincent? Is it Vincent?
And Eric buying into all this and making it, I like I said, I don't know what the end game is. I know that this is part of Dick's shtick for things.
He's made money.
It's very much of his MO. I think he really likes it. And, you know, I know Serrano says, I like him. I don't, actually. I don't particularly care for him. He's funny sometimes, but it's not, but a lot of what he stands for and believes in, like, I don't subscribe to it. So, you know,
I actually think he isn't ever. He just does equal funny.
He is adamantly anti-religion. So, I mean, that's a big red X from me.
The comic thing when it comes to like the ISOM donations was Eric being just dumb about the way that he set up the donation system, where if you buy more comics or you get more comics, that drives down the price of the comics. So if somebody paid for like 10 comics, they would get those comics at like $13 each, and that would be their donation of those $13 comics that are going out. But if you only bought like one comic, it wouldn't do like a bulk discount on that comic. And so then you go to like send it off, and like you know, whatever Eric July is sending those comics off, I don't think he's super, because you don't want to tell people what your shit costs, like actually dropped, because a lot of people will get cranky about that. Yeah. And so I think what he's doing is sending off the bundles of comics for, you know, on pallets basically to get them out. And then whatever the difference is between like the price of the comics shipped and what he's brought in for donation comics, he's then sending as cash. But you don't want to be like, oh, these comics only cost me $2 or $5 a piece shipped because I throw them on pallets and send them off, and then I pay them, you know, $12 an issue to make up the rest of what people have brought into me. Because then people will know like what the cost is, and when people know the cost, like we all know that stuff costs less than what we pay for it, but hearing it can make customers very angry. And so like he's just not very clear about how that whole system was designed and works, which is why you shouldn't do charity things.
Exactly. In the context of charity, it sounds like he was committing fraud.
Just don't do charity stuff like that. And I don't even think it's like actually like I don't know if it's fraud either. Like, it might be because you're dealing with charity stuff, but only if the books don't match. And you won't know the books don't match unless you see the books. So you can't really say, like, oh, that's fraud unless the books are fraud, right?
Yeah, like, you have Eric July, who's probably...
Yeah, don't talk about money stuff with your fans. That's dumb.
Like, I'm assuming Eric July isn't his own accountant.
I would hope not.
Oh, if he is his own accountant, I think
he should know what his books are, but yeah, he shouldn't be doing his books.
And he certainly shouldn't be going on Nick's stream to talk about it.
Yeah, especially a Nick stream that's like late at night when he's just being like baited to come on. Like that's not wise. I'll go again. I will say it. Not wise.
I think the craziest part of all this is that I Saw Him #1 is a shit comic.
I agree with Bunger.
I feel like that's pretty consistent with the takes I've heard.
It's a bit hard to get on top of a like pirated copy. Honestly, it's kind of funny, but it's bad.
Well, I'm not paying $35 fucking for a comic book that's shit. I'm gonna read a little bit before I like.
Why does it cost so much? Jesus.
Because he's an asshole.
Yeah, really.
Because it's 90 pages color print.
And you see these other people that don't charge that much.
Yeah.
Like Eric, or what's his name?
Joe Ball.
Ethan Van Sciver. Joe Ball's is cheaper than that, and it looks better.
Except Joe Ball still hasn't come out. Come on, Joe Ball, where's my comic?
It's been over a year.
What does Joe Ball's cost, actually?
I think it's 18 for the manga size.
Mm-hmm.
What about the full color one?
I don't know, but I can find it out.
And that was a Kickstarter?
Yeah, Death. I think it's a...
It should tell me what it costs. Indiegogo, maybe?
But yeah, Eric July, after the Nick stream that he went on, he realized how bad it fucking looked and started attacking Nick for letting him on, basically.
Why'd you let me make an ass out of myself?
Yeah, like, One specific phrase he used was "white bread N-word" to describe Nick, and then Nick.
I won't say it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay,
A hardcover from Joe Ball is $30. Hardcover color is
I love
$45.
I love hardcovers, so yeah, that would
That
if I was
sounds
gonna like
great.
invest in something, that sounds so much better.
And then
It's gonna have a
so
better
the issue
story,
was
better art,
Nick's
better
fire
person.
He just fucking lays into him, and he repeats. He just
Drex
and like 50 N bombs.
Was that Drex doing it, please?
No, it was him. And at some point, Dick shows up and like isn't insufferable for once. So
well, he doesn't have to say anything. He just has to be like, "Hey guys, haha, how's it going?"
And Dick is the least funny person on YouTube. Is he even on YouTube?
I mean, to be fair, Noah Samson's on YouTube.
I think Noah Samson's funnier than Dick Masterson.
I mean, I've laughed at stuff as Dick has done before. In terms of his podcast, I have not seen a single clip I liked from his podcast. I gotta be honest.
I've laughed at the Noah Samson videos he's made.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he's not trying to be funny, so we shouldn't.
No. I've laughed at actual jokes he's made with it.
Oh, you have.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess
Riley
kind of have
is
to
the
say
producer's name.
Yes.
I don't remember laughing at any jokes that Noah Samson made himself. Well, maybe there's one.
I've
I
laughed
still think
at
that-
Noah Samson.
I still think.
Oh
that,
yeah, totally at it.
Yeah, I'm talking about a joke he made. I think that counts less than the stuff Dick's done in the past.
Me,
But I have not
I
like,
don't
seen
know the
anything
shit
from
he's
his
done in the
podcast
past.
I've liked.
I know him as a fucking weirdo on Twitter.
Yeah, that's about it. And usually his Twitter takes are just bad.
Oh yeah, brain dead.
Yeah, it's just bad engagement bait.
Yeah.
His cost is
You can't
up
really
because of
respect that.
page quality. Ah, yes, the page quality.
And he exists in this
High
place where he
quality,
just wants to like
heavyweight
hang with
pages.
Vito of all people.
Beautiful.
And who wants to hang with Dick?
I guess
Riley
no
and
one-
Vito.
Man, this is why you don't accept phone numbers except from women.
Wait, can I just like delete them from my contacts?
Nope, you just can't accept them.
Yeah, just this
Gotcha.
youngster Joey calling you at 9 p.m.
Hey, can we meet up for a Pokemon battle?
Yeah,
Go to
even if
bed,
you're gonna
youngster
say that,
Joey.
You should be like, hey, my Rattata looking pretty cool.
He does say that. He literally says, my Rattata's pretty sweet.
Oh, you got the whooper.
All right, and I've got my...
Look how cute she is.
Kick
Finally
her
got
ass.
some Pokeballs.
In her
Tackle down here.
summer
Is Stu still
clothes.
there? Yes, probably. He'll leave soon.
Stu,
Is having a
name
money
18
goal on
bands.
stream fine for your viewers to see? All the people I see that do that are either very dumb or they descend into assholes and lol cows. Depends on what the goal is for. I think follower or like sub goals are more exciting because I think like as an influencer, as a YouTuber, as someone who's like trying to create like a community, your goal should be to increase that community. Stu is having audio issues.
No, I
Having
think
money as your primary is I think a short-sighted thing to do, unless you're having like a, you know, if you guys get me $200, I'll get a new microphone
or
or
something.
you know
Are
some
you guys familiar with Stardust?
Yeah, I know Stardust.
Yeah.
Not personally,
he-
but
Yeah, I'm just.
but now
The
Cherry
person.
follows me on Twitter. I don't know what that
Ew.
says. Also
Not
counterpoints.
Oh my god, that's horrible. That's
I'm branching out, everyone.
That's great for
we
you.
used to have a sub goal or like a money goal or whatever. Like it just had to total up to a certain amount of money across all platforms, and she would just then start doing karaoke.
Yeah,
Whatever.
like as a reward system, I think it can work, but I do think that you should have it as like the sub or the follower or some other goal that's related to like your community and not just like here's how much money. Because if you put a money goal, then some whale shows up, they just plop it down. You didn't really create like a lot of like engagement with different people, because from like a business standpoint, your
Well,
goal
you
would be to
paid
get
rent.
a lot of people excited about just giving you $1 each, rather than one person that gives you like $100. Because
Well,
then you
you
get
can
people
keep
that
the
get the
lights
mindset
on.
of that. What?
But you can then keep the lights on.
I didn't notice Destiny put his profile picture as like one of those stupid YouTube faux like video maker avatars. This omniliberal, look at that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he has like this silly videographer picture.
This thing?
Because you see so many stupid leftist YouTubers that'll do something like this to be like, oh, we're like art, we're smart, we know what we're doing. It's good stuff.
I wish I could easily get some of the memes from that panel. Cause the panel itself was insufferable. It was such a waste of time.
Always is.
The whole drama stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
The people that actually.
I still haven't seen any of the drama because I haven't been watching Nick, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That's why I asked for clips, but Michael never sent them to me because he's a bad friend.
From
I
Nick?
don't have clips, and I didn't realize you were asking for them.
I've asked you for clips like on two different occasions.
I'm gonna
You
be
never
real.
sent me anything.
I think just saying clips.
You never
in
even tried
chat
finding
isn't-
any of them.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
did.
can you hear me?
I thought you were
Yep.
saying you had.
All right.
clips.
No, I asked for clips.
I didn't realize, but also
You didn't
I
have the
don't
right clip.
clips. I don't have clips. I don't have clips. I have mags.
Do we move on to another subject?
No.
We're still talking about Dick.
Okay, where were we at with this?
I'm
so
voting
I haven't
nay.
seen the clips.
Yeah, I haven't seen the clips. I haven't
Okay,
seen
so the
clips.
correct side on this issue is none of them. Fuck all these people.
I
Nick's
like
my
Nick.
buddy. Like I said, I'm
Yeah, I
on,
was gonna say,
I'm
I
on
like
Nick's.
Nick.
I'm on Nick's side because he's my buddy, and I'm sure it's well-meaning. And
And if we're talking about July versus
Guys,
Dick,
there's a
I don't like
reason
either
he
of them.
apologized after the Friday stream and then privated the stream. It's
Yeah.
because he said a lot of things.
a lot of N-words.
He was like, "Look, I'm very drunk right now, guys," and he said this ironically. I'm very drunk right now. I'm able to be drunk because I'm talking to Dick, and I'm not talking to a slimy piece of shit like
Okay, there is a
Or
clip now
July.
because I searched it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Eric
there's
July is a
definitely-
lying racist with a loyalty list.
Yes, yeah, that's literally the
I'll
whole
watch
thing.
that later.
He was burning bridges that night.
Yeah, he was burning bridges. He's like fires everywhere.
Oh, here we go. Dick and Eric start beef over comic book. Vito gets involved. Ricada gets involved. Fans get involved.
Oh, is this
Gay
like a more
IRL shit
comprehensive one?
happens. Question marks. Profit.
fans got involved way earlier.
Oh,
than
yeah.
that.
Because yeah, the one I'm looking at right now is just a YouTube video about 40 minutes long.
It
looks
was
like it's
interesting at
just a
first, but
straight
now it's
cut
gotten
from,
boring.
Unless
this-
Ralph gets involved.
That'll be good. Everyone should follow my boy Ricky. He's full of great takes. Yeah, I caught the whoopa. Send Blaine 1 cent for reasons. Yeah, send me a penny
what?
on Rumble.
All this dude did was like tape money on a
Get
door,
Whoopa Troopa.
and
Did
then
he?
yeah, I think that's all he did. And then Eric July was like, "Look, man, I ain't scared of you, but like my employees, we might be icing some fools if you do that like during operating hours."
Wait, what?
So that's the I don't know if it was just taping money unless there's photos of like the
He was filming himself doing it. He was like, "You can't
Right.
ignore these super chats," and he's taping $20 bills to the door.
Okay. So whether or not the guy was doing something innocuous at the place of business, the fact that someone goes to a place of business and then, I mean, as innocuous as it feels, it is technically vandalizing, right?
Is it?
You have to take it as, you don't know what they could do or what they might do if they were to come back. Like
yeah,
that,
that's to me.
posting
That's
on-
what. That's
Do
an
you think you
escalation.
should be like posting and saying that I will hurt you if you come back effectively? Is a good thing to say on Twitter.
I think you should say if you come back, I don't know what you're going to do, and I'm
I think
prepared
you should
to
just say
defend
do not.
my.
I would just say do not come back. I would literally leave it at.
Do we lose
say,
Blaine
do not
or-
come
No,
back.
I'm still here. Did you
Okay.
lose me?
I
I
was
would just say
losing
like
for a second.
do not come back because I don't know what you're going to do, and I will make sure that my employees are safe.
I mean, I just like how a different friend I talked to about this one time on Discord before. It was just like, just say as little as possible, of course. Like, just
Yeah.
be direct, say don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
That is the last thing Eric
Because
I want to do.
If you have, the more stuff you have in public, the more ways it can be twisted against you if you end up going to court, if something happens, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I think maybe court of like public.
Well, a lot of this, I
opinion.
think, is emotion driven. I think that's, and it's probably why
Yeah.
Eric got involved in this in the first, or took things, you know.
I mean, the main reason is the fact, like, if it goes in front of other people, if it ends up going in front of a judge or a jury somehow, it doesn't matter. You want as little to be against you as possible. Don't
True.
give them anything. Don't give them
You
anything.
need to be
Yeah.
clear with like, here's the boundary. Do not come past it. But don't say what you'll do if they pass that boundary.
Because it
Don't
can
get
look like
emotional
you're
over the
planning
internet.
on something.
That too.
Because I think
Yeah.
that kind of starts all this. Because, like I said, if Dick's being a troll and you fuel that,
Mm-hmm.
you're only and guess what? A lot of his fans, maybe all of his fans, are just like that, and they're they kind of get off on that, and it's just like you're
Mhm.
only going to perpetuate.
Yeah, like somebody's going to come up, then there's going to be possibly a confrontation and an
probably.
incident, and it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, Ralph isn't the only idiot who's going to show up on people's doorsteps.
It's not like you have to be worried about Ralph. It's anybody else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You 5'2" motherfucker. It's not true.
You saw him try to fight trannies. It's not going to work out.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I
I
saw
mean,
him
he
get
showed
kicked
up
out
at
of the
the
house.
Blaze. He showed up at the Blaze.
What
office.
overweight,
At the
mentally ill
Blaze
man.
office?
Yeah, that's
When
Oh,
Nick
yeah,
was there.
yeah.
that was the Elijah Schaefer thing.
Oh, that's right.
And then Sydney
There's
Watson
there's
sued
Elijah Schaefer up
for
there.
that, right?
He's looking at me down from the window up on high.
Didn't
He's
that
scared
girl
of me.
sue the Blaze over that? That was crazy.
Well, that was the same. That
He said
that
they
was
won't
during the
let me
same
on the
time
set.
that all that was going on, but it was very weird. It was a very weird thing. And then somebody followed Ralph when he was in Europe and beat the snot out of him. In
Oh,
a
that's
crosswalk in
he got beat. to shit.
Portugal somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't even
Even
think
when they
I don't think
did
that
that
person's connected. I'm pretty
Because
sure that's just
he
Portugal.
was going to go find somebody else to give them a hard time. I mean,
You get what you get. I think at the end of the day. For
Also,
some
don't
of
go to
these.
Portugal.
well,
Just,
what a lot of internet creatures don't realize is that there are real life creatures out there too that are a lot more dangerous, and you can get in trouble with that. But then you got
we
normal
could just
people
point to the
running
video
into
from-
internet creatures on the
Yeah.
internet, and that's where they are dangerous, and that's where,
Look
maybe
at the guy
somebody
that got
who's-
stabbed a couple of days ago. You see how he was talking to him? Did you see the video of him
Well,
getting?
that's
I
because he
didn't-
talks smack about Scott Adams, and apparently that's how you get deaded now. You don't just talk
Okay.
about the Clintons. You can talk about Scott
Yeah,
Adams.
no. In the video, like this guy sees this black dude just like smashing the side of a car or something. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, I think
one?
that's one of the guys
Yeah,
who was.
Is
yeah,
there
we'll just
volume on
play
it?
it. It
'Cause
cuts
I
out the.
didn't-
Yeah, it has audio.
It has
should
audio.
have audio.
Okay, yeah.
I
I never
hate
saw the
this
one with
stuff.
audio.
It doesn't have any of him getting stabbed though.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, no. Just watch how stupidly this person acts. So, yeah, this random weirdo just walks by.
Are they drunk or are they having like a fight? Like their body language is very strange to me.
Yeah, this person's like hitting a trash can or a car,
Yeah.
and they're just keep walking towards this guy.
To be
Nope.
fair, I've walked
Cross the
past my
street.
share of trash fights.
Cross the street immediately.
Nope, yeah, you
Yep,
don't go near
gone.
those people. If that's not your car and you're not able to defend it, go away. Don't.
You
And
don't
that
know
person.
what's going
You're
on.
sitting
That's the
around.
whole thing. And now
Yeah.
you've not only that, but if this is his wife, girlfriend, date, or whatever,
Yeah.
you're
I
kind
would not do that with waifu in tow. But I
Yeah,
have
I'm
walked past my
definitely
share
giving
of
somebody space.
of trash fights in Seattle. So
Yeah.
There's
Bum
a
fights.
thing you can tell, but also this guy just gives off a bad vibe immediately when I see him.
This is in Philadelphia, isn't it?
You learned they were all drugged up. Yeah, that explains so much more about the way that they like stood up and started walking, and because like they're just not with it with the way that they're moving.
Who the fuck wears a hoodie at night and then you follow that person?
This guy starts saying, "I'm gonna kill you."
And then he just pushes him back.
Chill. Yeah, shouting "chill" at a short king has worked every time.
Like, this is how these idiots deal with people in real life. They don't realize these people just stab you.
Well, that's
And-
good. They don't know how this stuff happens in real life.
Yeah, they don't know
They
what
don't
happens.
live in that in the reality of it's not a nice office space surrounded by my
You're not gonna talk random people down like this on the
cultured
street.
liberal friends.
Let's say you didn't bring your gun because you wore your tight pants on the date, so you don't have the American option to stop the threat.
Who wears tight pants? You automatically deserve to be stabbed.
If a guy with a weapon is now in arm's reach to the point where you can push him away, and like it looks like he pulls
It's
the knife
already too
out,
late at that point.
Yeah,
it looks
this
like
is
he
a
pulls the
deadly
knife out.
situation. This is very bad.
and he gives him like 2 shoves. You need to swing. Like
No, you have to attack.
Your
right
first
now.
thing is to knock this guy's jaw so that his brain buckles and he passes out so you can run away. Call the cops, be like, this guy tried to stab me with a knife, or just run away and leave him there passed out. Maybe he'll wake up in a better mind state.
Like, what's
but
extremely bad
He's
here
been
is
in the
he is
kill
here
zone
with his,
for like 5
yeah,
seconds.
He is within this guy's striking range. He has another person there, so he can't just run away. You can't just be certain that this person is going to be able to run with you and it's going to be safe. Like, if it was just me, I run into a guy that's being crazy like this, the best idea is to be able to try run away. You don't want to be near
Not
this
even
person.
trying to get her to run away either.
Yeah.
Run,
Yeah.
hide, fight.
Yeah. And if he gets in range with a knife, you have to start swinging, like you said. You are in a bad situation. You have no option to escape. You have to beat this guy here.
And he's a head
Or else you're
taller
dead.
than this guy. Like he is big enough that like count the number of times he just pushes him back. So guy comes up, there's a little shove, 1 shove. Don't shove me. 2 shove. Swings. Ow, something hit me. He got it.
No,
After
that's
getting
upset.
swung at, still had another shove. There's 3 opportunities to go in for even your limp-wristed strike would at least push this guy to a position that maybe he's going to get a little rattled. You got to do like
Yeah,
punch him in the
that's
nose like
also
he's a
part of
shark.
it. Yeah, like, you could actually, I mean, I'm not saying it would work, but it's like, if you hit somebody, they might actually rethink something. They might think, like, okay, step back a second here. Maybe this
He's
isn't
trying to
worth
tell
it.
him, look, I'm one of the good
Maybe.
white people.
Yeah. I don't want to hurt you. Yeah, you're not going to hurt him. we know. He
It
knows.
wouldn't be exactly. These guys don't go after hard targets. They go after soft targets or perceived soft targets. That's the angle.
Yeah, because the thing is, once if you actually land a hit on him, you hit him once, he will reevaluate his like fight or flight, and maybe you'll get lucky.
You're so much like people are always talking all the time about reach and fighting. This guy comes
matters.
up to this guy's shoulders barely. Like you can just swing and see what happens. If you swing and see what happens, you're like, honey, run, or like, drugged lady, get out of here. You know, take the swing and turn and run if you got nothing on you. There's another shove.
Oh,
another...
now he's got an obstacle in his way. He's done.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
fucked.
this is where he dies. He trips over.
Is he actually dead?
He's dead. He
Yes,
died.
he's dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
He
There's a
tripped over
reason why
that.
they jumped
He
back.
ran him down. And he just stabbed him to death.
and she's still there. That's the thing where I didn't get it either. Like maybe she could be traumatized by like seeing that, but her just standing there, I was like, why is she just
I
standing
assume
here?
what
But,
she.
but
I
Alex
assume what
Moore
happened-
saying they were drugged up makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I assume probably why she was standing there too is that she was trying to tell him, stop stabbing him.
Yeah, and then that's when you get stabbed. Like,
Yeah.
goodness.
No, this is the journalist this is one of the 2 journalists that was making fun of Scott Adams and ended up dying in the same week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Scott Adams said, was it about the like just abandon the cities? You have to leave.
Yeah, it was get out of the cities. They're lost.
Are you doing play game? Go watch him. Go watch him.
Go watch him. Go watch the guy with the
him?
knife.
Yeah, some random person
F
comes
outta
up.
here.
Like,
No, I'm not going near the person with a knife who just stabbed somebody. And you hear the guy
Go
shout, he's
here,
like,
yeah.
what?
What?
Go watch him. Go watch him. Why?
Don't do drugs. Don't be
Don't do
drunk in the middle
drugs.
of a dangerous part of the city. Don't
Yeah.
not have charge of your faculties in a dangerous
Don't
location.
not be
Every
strapped.
part of the city
If
is.
this
a
guy had a
dangerous
gun,
place,
he
dude.
could have protected himself.
No, if this guy had a gun, he wouldn't have, because he wouldn't have. You couldn't trust himself to. You couldn't trust him to do the right thing with it. He could have shot himself.
Maybe.
I mean, this, like I said,
This is the guy that has the gun that gets it stolen and used against him, and then
Yeah.
becomes the other problem of all of that.
because
it's just
again,
so-
this is he's drunk, he's high, he's stoned, he's whatever. He's clearly not thinking, and she's no better either. She should have she should have taken off and at least stopped at a safe distance. You know, because she's nothing but a liability to him if he's got any sort of protection.
Yeah, her being there puts him in
his
more
instinct.
danger.
But clearly he doesn't have a protection instinct because he walked towards the guy with the knife.
And also, he's like kind of pushing the guy with the knife away and like running away, but like she's now, it goes him, knife guy, her. Like he just pushed her into danger. Like the whole thing is messed up.
The real
It's
problem
just-
here was
just
that he was
awful.
pushing him away. He wasn't accepting. He needed to be treating that guy with compassion, and he pushed him away.
Maybe he thought she was a strong and independent woman and didn't need no protection.
Well, apparently she survived, so there's some truth to that.
He lived and he died. It's a sad state.
It's terrible, but literally, you have to tell these, or you have to try to tell people, it's like, don't do this. This is extremely stupid. This gets people killed.
Get out of the city.
The fuck am I looking at right now?
That's what he's saying.
There's nothing there. I was gonna say, look at the comment.
Hold on, yeah, I was
yeah.
trying to stretch it out here.
Yeah.
Body shaming isn't cool. It's not cool, but it is funny.
And an ironing board.
Also, I mean, this is from the back, but it's still sad.
It's the same shape in the front and the back. Sorry.
This is what equity gets us. This is the hiring practices when
You
you
guys
look for
hear that they
diversity.
did open a femboy Hooters? They did that.
They
You
did
like that,
that.
wouldn't you?
They took that from
That's
us.
what this was.
No, they actually opened it.
Hey, it's
Oh,
a
is that what
magic
it was? I thought it was just.
I'm not
no
sure if
shame.
that is what that was, but I know they actually.
It wouldn't
opened
surprise me.
Yeah.
I remember.
All right.
Now I really need to leave.
Okay,
yeah.
see ya. I remember when a Hooters went in, and me and my buddy went. We were like, "Oh yeah, let's go to Hooters," and we got there, and then like it was him and I. We were 21, and we sit down at like a table in the bar section, and then the waitress comes up, and we're at like a 4-top table, and she just sits down in one of the chairs, and we were both like, "What? Like." Are you gonna take our order, or are you joining us for the meal? Like it felt so weird, and it wasn't even like,
Gonna give us the lap
oh,
dance.
it wasn't even like, oh, I'm trying to like be all sexy to get more tips. She just sat down like she was part of our group. It was the weirdest thing we had ever encountered, and we just never went back. We're like, this food is not great. We'll just go to good food in the future.
We'll just go to Golden Corral.
We're just gonna go to.
There's a lot more woman over there.
We're just gonna go to Blaine's food truck in the future.
Yeah, exactly. We'll wait.
When's the food truck gonna be open?
We'll just wait. I got the plans approved by the pro, so now they're getting resubmitted as addenda. So now the state's looking at the plans, and then the inspector should be out. I think this inspection will happen before I leave for Japan, but I don't think the Department of Health inspection will happen until after Japan.
How many trips to Japan is it gonna be before you're up and running?
Hopefully just one more, which will be 2 in total.
How many has there been already?
Yeah, there's been 1, so this will be the second trip to Japan. But I know some
you
things that I
realize
need
if
to
you were
buy.
in like half of the other states in the continental U.S., you would already be up and running.
Oh, I am deeply aware.
Yeah, if
It's
you're opening-
probably 80%, honestly. It's probably everything except for California, Oregon, Washington.
Yeah,
I bet
just
New
imagine
York
you
is
tried to
easier to open a
It might
food
be,
truck.
yeah.
Do you think there's a regulation there? No, you go up to the Don, you give him a little dough.
He's, hey, you know,
You're
I want to
good.
open a truck. He's like, guys, as long as you staff my hot dog corner, you're gonna be okay, bro. Like, all right, yeah.
What
I'm
is
like,
that?
you know, we should've gone-
Capiche.
Unironically, Twin Peaks has one of the best whiskey barbecue burgers that exist. Unironically.
You think it's a theme restaurant?
Yeah, it is delicious.
Nah, we went to in Phoenix. They had the Heart Attack Cafe where they have the women dressed up in nurse outfits.
Oh, is that the one that has the bars, and the farther you get in, the deeper your discount?
I don't remember seeing that.
Oh, maybe that's the Heart Attack that's in Vegas has that, where there's
Yeah,
there's
sounds-
like progressively skinnier bars, and however far you get in, that's what your discount is on the menu.
No, this was more. This was themed like kind of like Hooters or whatever. And the funny thing was it was 3 walls were glass of the building. So like you're driving through, like you see, like you know what you're getting into when you go in there. It's
Yeah.
definitely eye candy to draw you in.
Right.
It was almost 20 years ago. I'm old and I need to go to bed. All right, guys.
All right,
Y'all
good
have
night.
a
Yeah, see ya.
great evening.
So yep.
See you.
If you're a calorie away from a heart attack, you eat for free. No, other way around.
I got my Ragnar Crimson video recorded up before the stream, and I'm not gonna finish it. I'm just gonna get to bed early, but I'll probably try to get out by like 3 or so tomorrow.
Nice. I'm probably gonna get to bed early as well because I have 170 more bricks to lay tomorrow.
So what were you doing? Were you just like building a side thing outside your house?
Yeah, so we're completely redoing all of the landscaping so that it makes more sense as far as being
yeah.
flat in the front.
That takes
bit
forever,
of a slope,
and that's
flat.
why
Yeah.
you've been having all that time, because that stuff takes forever.
It's I have placed 450 pavers, and I have 150 more or 170
And
more to
honestly,
go.
when you for stuff like landscaping, lots of these big house projects, those things, when you look at the price to like pay somebody, you're like, honestly, that's not that bad.
you get it after you spent like 3 weeks doing
You're like,
all of this.
You know, I could pay a guy, or I could pay a team of guys to do this, but I'm just
You're like,
not
no
working
wonder this
right
is
now.
like 30 grand worth of like work.
Yeah, it's like, I understand, but I'm just not working right now, so
Yeah, I'll do this instead.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun. Oh, I can pull this up. Here we go.
One good one I found recently, I'll post on Discord here, is 1,000 miles Echo Arc.
This is the this is what it will. This is all the work that we are doing. So the front is getting these pavers all put down here. There's a
'Cause,
path
yeah, that looks really
that
nice.
goes all around the house.
I love having just like a nice rock or whatever kind of thing for the like the front area.
Yeah,
'Cause it looks better than concrete.
well, and we haven't had a lot of room for cars, so like it'll be nice to have. It'll give us 3 parking spots in the front, so like tiny truck can go there, and we can probably put
is that actually big enough to fit a full car on it?
Yep. Yeah, it's almost 30 feet.
Okay, I was gonna say based on the size of the shack, I didn't assume it was gonna be that big.
Yeah. No, the shack is huge in this photo.
Okay, that's not the correct size. It's just a
No.
representation.
No, and
Okay,
and
but no, that's cool.
I still measured this wrong because like when we got out there and got this done, there was still like 4 more feet that we had to fill in. That's why I have to
Yeah.
buy more of these damn things.
Yeah, and
I was
then
like,
you got,
damn
like, the
it, I
path
didn't
along-
measure it right.
Yeah, then you got a path along all the side of the house.
Yep, exactly.
It's a nice garden back area.
Yeah.
For myself, I probably would not have a grass backyard. I would definitely go for more something like a rock thing because I can't cut grass actually. I have bad grass allergy.
Oh, samesies. That's why I have a wife.
I don't want to like
And
force
gave
my
her the
wife
electric mower.
I don't want to I don't want to force her to be the one to cut the grass. So I probably.
You don't force her. You just you encourage her. It's a little different.
But the thing is, like, I can't. It's like I start dying.
You
when
absolutely
I do it.
can't.
So the thing is, like, I would rather just own a rock. I would rather have like rocks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just take out the problem entirely. If she wants to have plants and beds, that's fine. It's like her own.
Yeah,
thing,
beds are
like-
fun.
like I don't even mind helping watering that kind of stuff, but like I don't want to take care of grass because you have to put in work to actually take care of grass.
Have your children cut the grass? Because then I have to have kids
then
first
they're
that are
gonna
old
get,
enough.
they're gonna get my allergy, at least half of them.
Yeah, there's a what is
It's
the
genetic.
diagram? Like he's got a. Is our allergies dominant or not? I wonder.
And let's just Google it right now. What kind of allergies pass down?
Yeah, what is the
What allergies are genetic?
chances of kids getting allergies?
Asthma, atopic enema.
If
Or
both parents have allergies, the chances of having an allergic child are 50 to 80%. If one parent does, it's 30 to 50%.
okay, it's not dominant then. It's
No relative, 12%.
So yeah, it can happen by genetic anomaly, but it is higher, but it's not guaranteed.
I gotcha.
Yeah, like I said, so if assuming my wife didn't have an allergy, honestly, it'd be funny if she did. It's like, okay, I guess that makes sense. We're just not gonna have a grass at all.
You know what you should do is you should get one of those fake grass lawns. Some of the new ones. The reason
class nice. I want to ask him about his anime he's been watching.
The reason I don't say turf is because turf in my mind is like that playfield garbage. But like some of these new synthetic lawns
it's very
are
different.
basically real grass that you never have to
turf
mow.
has come a long way.
Yeah, it's incredible. What's up, E-Class?
Like turf in the NFL, I guess that's just what I'd go to. Is like the turf in the NFL has come a long way. It still kind of causes issues because it's not the same as grass. When you're playing on it like all day, every day, it makes a huge difference. But yeah, turf has become
family
a long
out in
way.
Vegas, exactly. Vegas family, Arizona family, Texas family. There's lots of family that don't have grass because why bother when you can just put down either some of them have paver bricks, others they just run the fake grass stuff.
Just have dirt.
Just the dust bowl.
Just pay an Indian, have him come out and like put some like markings on the ground. Yeah, this is ancient burial site. I mean,
everything in Vegas is fake, Alex,
Yeah.
and that's why it's fun. The whole thing is like a giant theme park.
That's why sports teams decided to start moving there. It's like, actually, gambling is good.
People can bet on us if we go here. I still am kind of shocked. I always expected Vegas to be like super boring, except for like one or two like really interesting restaurants. I'm shocked at how much fun I had just kind of lounging around.
Yeah, Vegas is just full of stuff. There's just so much stuff.
Cat shitting his yard. Oh, no.
Like, all kinds of stuff as well.
Oh yeah, and there's just no end to it. There's just more new weird things.
Yeah, Vegas is definitely a cool tourist destination. It's definitely one of the good places to go in the U.S., especially because it's a lot more condensed. It's a lot easier to get around to the different things than lots of other big cities.
And I feel like they've made it like MGM especially with all of the casinos they own. They've made it very like, oh, join our like rewards program and here's like a ton of free shit, and you're like, hell yeah.
Because it's just
I don't even have to gamble to get the free shit. You just kind of like have a phone app that like gets your data, I guess. I don't know how they do it.
They just make so much money from gambling. It's the fact that they can just entice people to be there and they'll get money from it.
The old Vegas Mafia books. You missed an awesome timeline. There is, I actually, the other day I was thinking about this steak. It was in Old Vegas. What was this place called? Because there's New Vegas that everybody goes to and visits, and then there's Old Vegas where like stuff used to be, like the old, like the cowboy, and like the old neon is up there.
Yeah, I got plenty of family who lives. I'm Hispanic. Family lives all along the like southern area, not like out southeast, but just like south from like Texas, Arizona, and Mexico, all that area, and Nevada.
Is it the Circa Bar? No, not that. But this chick with giant fake tits made us daiquiris there. It was pretty hilarious. We're like, we'll have 2 daiquiris, and she turns around and is like, whoa! I don't need those, thank you. Steak? Berries. Here we go. This place, Barry's Downtown Prime. They have a steak. Are you familiar with a ribeye steak?
It really makes me happy when people like do animations music videos. I always like seeing stuff like that.
Are you familiar with ribeye steaks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how I would be unfamiliar with them. Do you mean like
So-
I've eaten them and stuff?
Yes, we're gonna go through steak anatomy here.
Yep.
This is the ribeye, the whole ribeye, and this top part that's on top of this fat chunk here is called the cap. And the cap of your ribeye, this one's a Wagyu ribeye, so it has a lot more fat marbling throughout. But the cap always has more fat marbling than the rest of the steak. This place, Barry's, has a steak that is just the cap. And it's like it's like 4 ribeyes wide of just cap cut off of them. It was so fucking good.
I can't imagine. That sounds
It was
delicious.
and like I think about it sometimes, like I should get like a big
I would
rib
assume
roast
they
and
use
cut the cap
I assume
off.
they use the rest of it in like stews and beef bowls or whatever and stuff like that.
Or like, like a Katy steak or whatever.
Or
they're
maybe just
called.
hamburger mix,
Yeah,
honestly.
you just make a little tiny rib cut. It was fun seeing Vegas back in the 70s, watching Diamonds Are Forever. True.
Yeah, I haven't visited Vegas yet myself, but I know plenty about it because family.
Yeah. It's fun when you go. I always thought it was going to be like, people just go there to gamble and drink and be sad. But then you get there and you're like, this place is awesome.
Also, then you can see the sad people on the craps tables.
Oh yeah, you do get to see the sad people. I have never seen someone who I thought was conventionally attractive at a slot machine, like gambling.
Most of those are old people are very, very sad people.
And there's always like a rascal like within arm's reach so they can like shimmy onto it when they're finally out. Like, ugh, it's a depressing thing to see. Oh my goodness. I think we'll wrap it here at the 10 o'clock now that I've got Electrike learning Spark. I gotta figure out when Electrike upgrades.
So what you got doing tomorrow, Blaine? Working?
Yeah, same thing I always do, Pinky. Talk to my lawyers about suing Amazon and doing work. That's my life.
That's not on the job injury, or is it like a class action lawsuit? Or
No, they violated my contract, so we're taking it to them.
Was that involved with your delivery business?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you did contracts for them. They did blah blah blah. Didn't pay blah blah blah. Whatever.
Yep.
Something.
Yeah, Amazon is big, and they think they can not follow the rules. So
because usually they can.
Yeah, exactly. Evolves at 26, perfect.
Because honestly, even whatever payout they would give for you, assuming you get your ruling, it's it doesn't matter to them even.
It's just annoying. It's annoying.
Yeah.
They basically make you try to go through all the hoops. Because
They force you to go all that so you can get anything back from them when they cheat you out of something.
It's like you know how this is gonna go. It's black and white. So that's what I do every day. Casino Night Zone and Casinopolis showing the wonders of gambling. Thanks, Sega. It's true.
Sega.
I wonder, what was the first? I think the first time that I played a game where it actually kind of felt like gambling, and I was like, "This is kind of exciting," was Smash Bros. When you would put tokens in to try to win the trophies. I think that's one of the first times where I was like, "This is kind of fun. I could see myself having fun doing this." Thursday stream, you'll be home, some more manga reading. Well, I'll be here playing some more Pokemon and talking about anime. I should have time to watch anime tomorrow. I laid 450 today. It's only 170 tomorrow. I'll have time.
That's good. Cause I'm just about caught up on everything. Like I said, I'll be doing the.
Has everything finished for you for summer?
Oh no, there's so much more stuff. Most of the stuff we watched so far is trash. Hopefully, some of the other stuff's gonna get up.
But as far as finishing the summer season, yeah, is there anything
summer season? I dropped quite a few things. The ones I'm gonna go back for is of course Zom 100. Probably gonna try to do Rurouni Kenshin. That's lower on the list though. Mushoku Tensei is getting finished. I'm gonna do Dark Gathering so I can watch it this season. I'm gonna do some of Tempuru. I'm gonna probably try to watch as much as I can because I liked it. Undead Murder Force is getting watched. Masterful Cat is Depressed is like kind of on the edge. That one might get dropped. Heretical Last Boss Queen is getting watched. Level 1 Demon Lord. I'm probably gonna try to watch that one. Happy Marriage 50-50.
Yeah.
And then yeah, outside that, I'm also going to finish the Mega Man Show, level 999, Insomniacs, and Tengoku Daimukyo. Yes. I'm going to finish those 4 from the spring.
Very fun.
So yeah, I dropped a couple. Let me see which were the last ones I dropped that I still had on the list. Like, that I'd watched some of that I didn't immediately drop. Classroom for Heroes, Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses, Saint Cecilia, Reborn as the Vending Machine, My Tiny Senpai, Helk. Yeah, those are the ones that I dropped from that I didn't drop earlier. Yeah, the ones I just dropped like this week.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right, come on, let's catch this Ekans. We got this.
Gonna try to get out a video tomorrow morning, or not morning, but tomorrow afternoon. Then I'm gonna work on probably like just a wrap-up video for stuff I care less about.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I'm not really gonna put editing. Yeah, I'm not gonna put editing power into it. I have much shorter like just statement on them. You know, it's more like my full video where it's like some I just don't care about as much. I care about Ragnar Crimson somewhat because it's just overrated. Just a lot of people like it, and I just don't think it's good. You know, like
interesting.
It's actually the 3rd highest rated new show.
Interesting.
Yeah. You can check it out for yourself.
Yeah, it looked interesting enough, like in a sort of like Classroom of Heroes level, sort of like, yeah, I could see this being like a fun, like, oh, it's on and nothing else is kind of a thing.
Better. I think Classroom of Heroes is clearly better.
Oh, really?
You can determine yourself, and we'll talk.
Yeah.
You should watch that tomorrow if you got time, and then we can talk about it tomorrow.
Perfect.
Because I'll put out my video on it. You can have your thing. You'll make your determination, and we'll talk about it.
I will make my determination.
That'll be fun.
Alrighty, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me on the second of the dry escape corners. We're wrapping up for the day. Go have some fun. Go sleep. Don't fall asleep on stream like Mike. Okay.
Actually, sleep at night.
Oh yeah, sleep when you're supposed to sleep. I gotta go make some highlights. Kampai, everybody.